Love coming in on a crucial 3rd and 8 here. Oh, they're sending pressure. Lamar. What a catch by Andrews. Golly. That's a huge catch by Andrews. Going up high to catch that one. Lamar surrounded, saw Andrews, and said, I got to put this up high. Look at the pressure. I don't even know how he gets this off to Andrews. This is what Mark Andrews does for the team, man. It's just important. It's special. It's special. Gotta love Mark Andrews, man. Gotta love Mark Andrews. Ravens coming out of the locker room here. Gotta put some points on the board. Quick throw here to Wallace. Wallace gonna pick up a few yards. Sorry about this, guys. You know I gotta get set, obviously. Oh, injured Eagle on the field. Gonna have to go take care of him. Hopefully he is okay. He got back up, so it seems like he is okay. Well, yeah, he's taking a few steps and then he's just like stopping. Hopefully he is okay. But, let me. Yeah, he's shaking up after this. He's shaking up. He's shaking up.
Surgery coming Tuesday, done for the year, and everybody wanted him to come back one more time and not have that be the.
I hope he's okay.
You see him. Well, it's went up with an injury, an incomplete year.
Well, when you have a top defense like this, and you got Vic Fangio there, Vic came out actually with the media, which was great because Brandon had talked about it. This is probably his last year, and Vic Fangio goes, "Not on my watch." That's right. You're coming back, big guy. So, Philly fans, there's a good chance you get Brandon back.
So we got an injury timeout here. Perfect time for me. I need this to get myself set up before we can get going.
These say I'm in awe of your taste, and these say I really like you. In fact, I might love you, but I kind of need you to say it first. We've all been there.
So all gifts.
No one's trying to hear this.
Well, Cashmere's very shy, but I can coax a gentle
Well,
whisper.
whatever.
This holiday season, let Macy's be your guide to gifting.
With Cascade Platinum Plus, I have upped my dish game.
Oh, it's in that dishwasher.
Watch me. Platinum Plus gives you the highest standard of
All right.
even in your dish.
I think that should be it. And then we can do this.
Scrape, load, done. Cascade Platinum Plus.
Introducing new Roxon Gel, the first FDA-cleared ED treatment available without a
Ah, boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
proven to work within 10 minutes, so you
Second half work here for the Ravens. They're in a battle, ladies and gentlemen. They are in a battle.
I'm the yips.
Anyway, let me see.
Right now.
I'm good to go. So, what's going on, everybody? Do you think we're going to lose right off the bat? My God, guys. Right off the bat, you're asking, do we think you're going to lose? My God, y'all talk about me being pessimistic. I'm pessimistic and negative. I just got here. And all of a sudden, they're going to win? Are they going to win? Do you think they're going to lose? Guys, let's just watch how the game goes. It's a battle against the Eagles. We know it's going to be a tough one. It's going to come down to the wire. May the best team win. Let's not talk about do I win or lose. Let's just see how the game goes, okay? This is an interesting question to ask me if I was here at the beginning of the stream. But we are in the third quarter marching inside the red zone. I don't think this is the time to talk. We have a chance to take the lead right now. This is not time to talk about whether or not we're going to win or lose. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We just got here. I ain't even got set up. I don't even have my Raven stuff on. I got to take this jacket off. I literally just came from work. We'll take off all this other stuff. Oh, my earphones. I'm going to just drop it right here. Take you off. Grab the jersey. I'm not even fully set up yet. All right.
Going into the tent.
Now, where's the hat? Here it is. Ravens. 2nd and 8 situation here. 2nd and 8. Lamar's going to take this under center here. I'd prefer to run it, but here comes some play action. Lamar's just got to dump it to Justice Hill. And Hill's going to pick up a few yards. Picks up 3 on that one, 3rd down and 5. You got to give credit to the pass rushing unit of the Philadelphia Eagles. they've been getting at Lamar all game. And this is something Philly has been doing all season. So obviously, us as fans, we're going to sit back and be like, oh, this O-line, yada, yada, yada. Listen, we know we have a middle-of-the-road O-line. We know we don't have one of the best O-lines in the league. You're going up against one of the best front sevens in football. What did you expect? You thought they were going to magically make stops here? 3rd down and 5. Lamar pump fakes and gets walloped. So they're going to have to take a field goal here. This front seven is getting to Lamar Jackson, man. Wow. And they're not able to block. Look at this, man. Lamar, good job just holding on to the ball. We'll take a field goal and hopefully Tucker will hit. What I hate is Lamar losing so many yards in this situation. And yet nobody's open because no one even has time to get open. By then, Lamar's trying to look for somebody. Nobody's open. Now you got to eat the sack. And Justin Tucker, who had already missed an extra point, he's made both his field goals. Can he make this 47-yarder to give the Ravens the 15-14 lead? Tucker, kick is up. It's wobbly and it's no good. Tucker is no longer reliable. Justin Tucker is no longer reliable. I hate to say it. Justin Tucker is no longer reliable. It's over. Justin Tucker is no longer reliable. There's nothing that needs to be said. There's nothing that needs to be emphasized. We just got to be honest with ourselves. Justin Tucker is no longer reliable. It is what it is. It is what it is. We need a new kicker. Questions are going to be asked. Funny enough, I was at the Commanders game, and there's a Ravens fan I was talking to. He's one of the people that also works there. And he was like, yo, yeah, we're going to have some questions about Tucker at the end of the season. We might need a new kicker. So, yeah, the fans are noticing. The fans are noticing. We might need a new kicker. I love Tucker to death, but if he can't get this going, if he can't figure this out, Baltimore will have to consider moving on from Tucker. It would be a tough conversation to have because you'll ask, okay, well, if not Tucker, who? Who do you go to? Tucker has been so reliable for so long. Are you ready to move past Justin Tucker at this point? It's a tough conversation, but he can't keep missing field goals like this. It's just not good. Stout can also go. But that's another thing that a lot of people have discussed. And it's been people on social media been doing all of the analyzing, just taking a look at this and saying, okay, Tucker's doing the same thing he's always doing. But this time the kicks are missing. Is it something Tucker's doing? Is it something Stout's doing? Is Stout not placing the ball in a way that best fits Tucker? Is he doing something wrong? There's been a bunch of stuff. There's been a bunch of stuff. So those conversations are going to be had. And it's unfortunate because we just watched the Ravens offense march down the field, and now you come away with no points. So now it stays a 2-point game. Philly's going to have the opportunity to extend their lead. You took a lot of time off the clock. And we got to understand, with the way both Baltimore and Philly plays, this is not going to be a long game. So there will not be a lot of offensive possessions. So if this is how things are going to go, Baltimore is going to be put in a situation where they're either forced to use Tucker because they don't have a choice, or they're just going to have to go for it on 4th down. Tucker is washed. Tired of people saying it's Stout. Ain't no way at this point. But the thing is, people have looked at it. I don't know if it's Stout or not. I'm holding Tucker accountable because he's the one making the kicks. If Stout is truly the problem, they would have figured it out by now. If Stout is the reason, we're 13. This is week 13 now, right? We're 13 games in. If Jordan Stout is the reason why these kicks are being missed, yeah, sure, bro. I'm not even gonna get into that, bro. I'm too tired. I just worked a long day. I'm not getting into that. I'm not doing the whole did he carry. I'm not doing that right now. I'm just not. I'm too tired for this. So Philadelphia has an opportunity now to extend their lead. So now you need your defense to step up here. Defense has played well against Philadelphia, but Philly has figured something out, and they're giving. That's all. That's got to be some type of hold, right? Nope. You would think there would be some type of hold on that one, but no. There was no call on the offensive hold, and Jalen Hurts got out of the sack and just kept going. Playoffs came early this year. I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Y'all talk about me being negative. My God, y'all are more pessimistic than me. But this is what the culture's done to the fans. You just get pessimistic fans. Anytime things don't go perfectly, immediately we gonna respond with negative aspects. Which I don't blame you. I don't blame you. 2nd and 10 here. They're going to hand it to Saquon. And I'll give credit to the Ravens defense. They've made a good stop defensively against Saquon. 3rd down and long. 8-5 for the first time in a minute. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. At the end of the day, the focus is to make the playoffs. Philly's probably going to win this division, but at the end of the day, as long as the Commanders make the playoffs, it's all good. But yeah, give credit to the Ravens defense. They're doing a good job in stopping Saquon. Both defenses have done a good job in stopping the run. Here's where my issues come in. Stopping the pass. The Ravens haven't been great at covering the middle of the field. They also haven't been great on 3rd down. They've been given a lot of cushion. And here comes Jalen Hurts buying time. That's going to be a hold. That's going to be an offensive hold, so it's going to be 4th down, and they're going to have to punt the football. I'm expecting Lamar. That's great. You expect Lamar to be the worst quarterback in the history of football. Every time Lamar steps on the field, you expect him to turn the ball over and do what you do. We got it, man. Same thing every single week, yada, yada, yada. I would love to engage you, man, but I can't engage you guys when I've worked so long. When I'm coming from a long shift from work, I cannot engage this conversation. Someone in the chat, please feel free to go back and forth with them. I can't engage in this, bro. I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to engage in this, man. I barely have the energy to be here and commentate over the game. Ravens defense forces a 3-and-out. I will probably be sleeping after this game. So the recap is probably going to have to be... Oh, he didn't call it. He didn't. Ooh. Ball came out, but Wallace got it back. Ball came out, but it looks like Wallace got it back. But wasn't he already down? Was he down? I'm telling you, bro, if Wallace fumbles this and this recovered by Philadelphia, Buddy's just going to have to sit himself back. He's lucky to recover that back, but Wallace is you should drink some coffee. I've been drinking coffee all day. I've been at work since 7 in the morning, buddy. I've drinking enough coffee. I'm not drinking any more coffee, dude. That's just not good for you. Too much coffee is not good. So no, I'm not going to drink coffee. I've been drinking coffee all morning. Look at this, man. Tylan Wallace. Nah. Someone else got to take those. Wallace, man, I'm not going to lie, bro. You have not. If it was Stout, he would have already got replaced or would have gotten fixed already. Something's wrong with the aspect there, but I just think it's just Tucker. Either Tucker's over kicking it or he's under kicking it. If it comes down to where Tucker's just reached the end of his road and he's at that stump, the same way all these great kickers in history just get to that certain point where they just start missing for some reason. If it's come to that point, then hey, man, it may be over for Tucker. But I hope that's not the case, and obviously the Ravens hope that's not the case because they love Tucker and they want him to be here. But he can't keep missing kicks. If he becomes completely unreliable, they will have to move off of him. This is a business after all, and if you're not producing, it's going to be problematic. And Tucker this year has not been producing. That's going to be, his 7th missed field goal? I think he's missed 7 field goals now, and he's missed 3 PATs. You can't let that happen. So the Ravens offense come up with 0 points, and the Ravens defense responds by forcing a 3-and-out. It's been a defensive game. I like what I'm seeing from both defenses. Philly's defense has been strong. Baltimore's defense has been strong. It's a highly physical game. It's a highly competitive game. I expected both defenses to show up, and that's what's happening. Now, I hope the Ravens are able to capitalize on some of these moments because they need to put points on the board, but you understand you're going up against a tough defense. 2 teams playing the Ravens. Just keep the game close. The Ravens will beat themselves. I promise you that. Like I said, man, this is what happens when you build that level of culture and you disappoint it too many times. All of us have become so pessimistic. We're just expecting the Ravens to crumble. We've become so pessimistic as a fan base. We expect the Ravens to crumble. That's just the culture they built. And until you go prove the fans wrong, people are going to keep saying that. Ravens O-line been trash in this game. They've been trash. I can't say they've been trash in this game, bro. Philly's offensive line does this to everybody. They've done this to a good chunk of teams. They've got, offensive line. Philly's front 7 is one of the best in football. We have a middle-of-the-road offensive line. We understand we have a middle-of-the-pack offensive line at best. They're not going to go up. They're not going to be able to do top-tier level blocking against some of the best front 7s in football. It's not going to happen. And we know it. We all know this. We all know this. What's Lamar and these fumble snaps, bro? I mean, it's happened. Nothing I can do about that. Neither back can get anything. Thank goodness Lamar has an amazing record against the NFC. You can't use the past to try to dictate what the present's going to be. That's not how that works. Just because he's 23-1 against the NFC does not mean he's going to win this game today. That's not how football works. Every game is separate and different in how it's played. They're trying to get Derrick Henry involved. He's got 53 yards rushing, but when you're going up against one of the best front sevens in football, it's just going to be tough. New Orleans ties the game up. They got the touchdown and went for 2. Lamar, he's got to get out of there, man. He's looking, nothing's there. He's just going to pick up the first down. I just saw New Orleans ties the game. Yep. I want to see how Derek Carr did it. Derek Carr taking a shot to Marquez Valdez Scantling for the 28-yard touchdown. They go for 2 and tie it up. 14-14 apiece. New Orleans is still fighting in the AFC South. The Falcons lost today. So the division is still up for grabs. Derrick Henry getting the ball again on 1st and 10. They're going to have to keep feeding Derrick Henry. How do you feel about the Miami Heat this year? Will compete for a play-in tournament spot, make the playoffs, and probably be a first-round exit. They could probably make one more push. Not with this squad. Not with the squad. They've hit their ceiling. It's not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. 2nd down and 7. Quick throw here. Gonna get it to Hill. Hill trying to break out of a tackle, but he's gonna be dropped right there. Maybe he picks up 2 yards. 3rd down coming up here. But yeah, Miami's probably just, they're probably a first-round exit. Like, just being as honest as I possibly can, the highest I could see is first-round exit. Now, maybe we can go on one of those magical runs where the team puts it together. You know what? Maybe as long as they don't play the Celtics in the first round, they'll probably be able to match up against anyone because the Eastern Conference stinks. But they're not good enough to beat Boston. They're not. In the 7-game series, they're not. But I'll be pumping my chest up and acting like they are. 3rd down and 5. Pressure's going to come, so Lamar's got to find a target quickly. There's the pressure coming. And he's going to utilize the wheels. Lamar! I don't know if he picks it up. He might be short. I'm going to go for this here. I'm going to go for this here. Lamar didn't want to take that type of hit. He tried to go out of bounds with this. Baltimore's about to go for this. Harbaugh, in a game like this, I recommend being physical. You go for it on 4th down, you pick up the 1st down. They got it. It's gutsy. See, if you're going to be aggressive, then you got to have that type of mindset in some of these situations. Yeah, Lamar really should have, he really should have just kept running forward. I don't know why. He wanted to pull the highlight play and hurdle a man. Yeah, he got it. If Baltimore's going to come out with this aggressive nature, then it has to pay off. They did this last week against the Chargers, and it resulted in a touchdown. Can you do this again and go take the lead? Miami is known to whip Boston even when the odds are against them. I don't know about that. Yeah, I still think they're not talented enough to beat Boston. But again, I'm still going to pump my chest out as a Heat fan like they will be. And at the end of the day, I'll be there every game, even when we get our ass whooped. Excuse me for the swearing, but I'm kind of unhinged right now. I have worked a lot, and I'm very tired. But yeah, I will be there supporting every game. Wizards haven't won in a month. Yeah, it's... What else do you want me to say? The Wizards have been terrible since how long? I don't think the Wizards are ever going to be a good franchise. Maybe once we're long gone. Lamar gets it to Derrick Henry. Henry's going to stiff arm a man. Henry dives to pick up the 1st down. They're going to give it to him. Ravens going to pick up another 1st down and continue to move the chains. Got to get some points out of this drive. A touchdown would be pristine in this moment because, again, with the way these two offenses play, they chew clock. So these possessions are going to be very limited. And with very limited possessions, you've got to go out there and make your mark. First down, Ravens. Derrick Henry with 2 catches in this game. I'm going to give it back to Derrick Henry here on first down. Here comes Derrick Henry. Right up the gut, picking up about 6 yards. Second down coming up here for the Ravens. 3:43 left to go here in the third quarter. Like I said, both these teams can just chew the clock up. You've got to understand what you're working with here. They're going to give it to Justice Hill, who makes a nice move and picks up a couple more yards. Third down coming up here. Philly's going to line, they're going to load up the box here because they know Baltimore may try to hand this off here. Oh, no, if Baltimore's going to go fast, they're not going to load the box here. If Baltimore's going to go fast, they're not going to load the box here. Lamar's going to keep it himself. And Lamar gets it. And he fumbled the ball. Jesus Christ, Lamar. Why is Lamar so fumble prone? I don't know. You asking me these questions like I know. That's why I don't like Lamar taking the ball himself. I really don't. I don't like the Lamar runs. Because I promise you, he takes the contact and then boom, the ball comes out.
I think Lamar knew he did the wrong thing by not giving it, and then he's like, okay, and then he does this Lamar thing, like, I'm going to make a hole and find
Look at that, man. Oh my God, they didn't even hit him. You're lucky Stanley was there. Stanley was there. Woo! 3 fumbles today, all recovered by Baltimore. Each one just as disastrous as the last one. Lamar's got time. Looks downfield. No flag. He was looking for Nelson Aguilar. That's just good defense. I cannot believe there was that many people on Aguilar. He had it in his hands, but when there's 4 defenders on you, what are you going to do about that? The throw was on point. The throw was on point right in the hands of Aguilar, but damn, look at the amount of defenders there. Philly just said, nah, 4 players on Nelson Aguilar is disgusting work. 4 defenders on Nelson Aguilar makes no sense to me. And now Blankenship, he's hurt. He's heading to the tent. Why are there 4 Eagles defenders on one guy? How did that even happen? That's crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. That is crazy. Incomplete pass. Aguilar had in his hands, but when you have 4 defenders on you, I don't even blame Aguilar. He got hit everywhere. 4 Eagles defenders on you. Him making that catch, bro, he got to be the best receiver in football to make that kind of catch. He was not holding on to that. 2nd and 10 here for the Ravens. Now Lamar is going to keep it this time. And Lamar going to push to pick up a few yards. 3rd down coming up here. They want to keep it 3rd and short. They are, see, here's the thing. They used to be in Tucker's range, but now you're in a situation where you can't really trust Tucker in these situations. So now if you don't pick this up, you're going to probably have to go for it on 4th down. Baltimore has controlled the clock in this corner, in this quarter, but they have not scored any points. You can't control the clock and then not score points. That's just a huge waste of time. You're just moving the ball down the field for the sake of moving the ball down the field. Baltimore has to come up with points on this drive. Otherwise, they've killed all this time in the quarter for absolutely no reason. 3rd and 7. Lamar. Going deep. Lamar has Aguilar. Aguilar made the catch and dropped it. Why do we keep going to Aguilar in these situations? Nelson Aguilar is not the person to go to in this situation. Even when he had the ball in his hands, he has to survive it. Look, perfect throw by Lamar, over the shoulders. He makes it. 1. The 2nd foot's not even in, and he doesn't even hold on to the ball. Now you got to kick a field goal with Tucker. Actually, it looked like he kind of had 2 feet in, but he didn't survive the fall. Tucker, you have to make a field goal now. Baltimore is going to keep giving you opportunities. You've got to make this. The fans are on your side, man. He's going to miss it. All right, that's it. No more Tucker field goals for the rest of the game. No more Tucker field goals for the rest of the game. No more Tucker field goals for the rest of the game. It's over. It's over. No more Tucker field goals for the rest of the game. He's missed 2 field goals. He's missed 3 field goals now. No more Tucker field goals. We're done. Baltimore, if you gotta go, I'd rather go for it on 4th and 7 than give it to Tucker right now. He's completely unreliable. It's over. We are watching the death of a GOAT. We are watching the death of a GOAT. And it hurts to see. It truly hurts to see. But we're watching the death of a GOAT. And there's nothing we can do about it. We're watching him die right in front of us. And there's nothing we can do about it. No, man. It's over, bro. It's over. It's over. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this. Justin Tucker. He's missed 2 field goals. He also missed an extra point. It's over, bro. It's over. We cannot. Justin Tucker is no longer reliable. Justin Tucker is no longer reliable. He's no longer reliable. He's no longer reliable. This is a sad day in Baltimore. Win or lose this game, it's a sad day in Baltimore. Because we're seeing the death of a GOAT. Tucker is no longer reliable. Also, Rashad Bateman injured his knee. He's out for the rest of this game, by the way. So let's just make things better. Rashad Bateman is out for the rest of this game with a knee injury. And Justin Tucker can't make a kick.
It's a gingerbread house. Inside gelatin.
Oh, it's really jiggling, huh?
You'd have the lead with this, bro. You'd have the lead.
This is number 1.
What if the right tech could elevate your holiday hosting?
What's up, Devin? We got Harv telling us, oh, well, he's making the kicks in practice. Bro, no. At this point, Harbaugh needs to, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But it's time. It's time. Baltimore for the rest of the game, you just got to go for it. No matter how this game goes, you've got to go for it. For the rest of this game, you've got to go for it. It's over for Tucker, man. There's nothing else that needs to be said. For the rest of this game, you've got to go for it. For the rest of this game, you've got to go for it. Tucker has missed 2 field goals and an extra point. He has cost the team literally 7 points. Tucker is supposed to be the guy that's reliable. And we're watching him die on national television. We're watching the death of a GOAT. If you're Harbaugh, this is where we look at John Harbaugh, the head coach, and say, are you going to be a player's coach or are you going to make the right call? The most in the NFL in a career-high 10 missed kicks this season. Justin Tucker has missed 10 kicks this season. Never in my wildest dreams did I think he was going to miss 10 kicks. He's missed 3 kicks today. That is a career high. You've never said these type of things with Justin Tucker. Hurts kept the ball. He's going to be stopped. 2nd down. Win or lose, man. The unfortunate part is now with these missed kicks, everyone's going to be like, yeah, Justin Tucker's actively costing them the game. He's actively, you've been in position to score and Tucker just can't hit it. So now it's just like, well, Justin Tucker couldn't make a kick for you. And it's just like, win or lose in this game, everyone knows this is relatively it for Justin Tucker, man. Saquon trying to make some moves, but the defense is right there. 3rd down coming up. If Baltimore's defense can make another stop, you can get the ball back. Now, Tucker isn't washed yet. A gang in Philly is making him sabotage the game. Bro, we can make these jokes, but we know. It's a wrap. John, I can't have John be the player's coach. Unless you have no choice but to settle for 3, John cannot be a player's coach here. John has to be like, okay, we have to consider going for it with Justin missing these 3 field goals. If the game's on the line and you need to make a kick to win the game, I get it. But with the way he's played, you've got to just go for it at this point. 3rd down and 7. This is huge for both sides. Hurts. Fires. Bat it down. Incomplete. Philly's gonna have to punt the football once again. Philadelphia's offense has gone cold as Baltimore's offense can't get points because Tucker can't kick a field goal. And the defense was ready for it. No matter where Hurts went with that ball, Kyle Hamilton was right there. Also, Kyle Hamilton is just battling through injuries, man. So the Eagles have picked up 0 first downs, and they've come up with 0 points. The Ravens have picked up 7 first downs, and they've come up with 0 points. The 3rd quarter was a whole bunch of nothing. Can't wait for the 4th quarter. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. You got to take it at the 4. You touch it, it's going to be a nightmare. So Baltimore's offense is going to have to travel nearly 95 yards if they want a touchdown. Both defenses have shown up to play. This is going to be a low-scoring game. Yeah, both defenses have shown up to play. This is the best Baltimore's defense has looked all year. Baltimore's defense has shown up to play. Philadelphia's defense has shown up to play. If only Tucker can make his kicks, we would be leading this right now 18-14. But Tucker can't make his kicks. It's unfortunate. We're going to have to go the rest of the game without Bateman because he hurt his knee. Gotta hope. You know, I mean, Zay Flowers is playing well. Mark Andrews is a beast. And Wallace is getting involved. No wonder I saw Tylan Wallace in the game. Bateman definitely got taken out. So, yeah, you're going to have to just make do. Please keep using Derrick Henry. Do not stop. They're going to have to. Tucker might be cooked. I don't think you could trust him on another field goal for this game. Maybe try again next. No, not next week. Maybe try again coming out of the bye week. But I just can't trust Justin Tucker right now. I cannot trust Justin Tucker right now. If they get back into field goal range, I would consider going for it on 4th down over putting in Justin Tucker's foot to try to make a kick. So, since I wasn't here, let me give some recaps about how the games have went so far. Chargers beat the Falcons in the 17-13 rout where Kirk Cousins threw 4 interceptions. Good job, Big Kirko. Steelers beat the Bengals 44-13. The most points the Steelers have scored in, 7 years? Russell Wilson had 3 touchdowns. There was 2 fumble recoveries for 6 points, I believe. The Steelers' defense destroyed the offense for the Bengals. Bengals just couldn't keep up at the end of the day. Vikings beat the Cardinals 23-22 in a surprising situation because when I was looking at the game, it was 19-6. Vikings pulled a comeback. Shout out to them. Colts beat the Patriots 25-24. The Colts are still alive in the playoff race. They're 6-7. They're still alive in the playoff race. Look out for them. By the way, the Cardinals are 6-6 now. The Seahawks taking firm place in first place, 7-5. They beat the Jets 26-21. They were down against the Jets, pulled the comeback, beat the Jets. Commanders rout the Titans 42-19. Jane Daniels had 4 total touchdowns. It was pretty much an easy. They were up by 20. What was it? 21 or 24-0 at some point. It was so easy. The second half, everybody was just chilling in the stadium. The Texans survive, and yes, I will say survive, in a 23-20 game against the Jaguars. In a game where we saw a brutal hit on Trevor Lawrence. His season's most likely done. His season has to most likely be done. There's no way you could tell me anything else. Other than that, we got Rams up 21-14 against the Saints. And then we've got the Panthers up 16-10 against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers can't afford to lose this game. They better get themselves together. Do you think the Bengals are done now? Oh, absolutely, at this point. The Bengals are done at this point. You're 4-8. They needed to win out. They're 4-8. Yes, I've kept up with how many kicks that Justin Tucker has missed. We've been talking about it. They're 4-8. Even if they run the table and get to 9-8, they probably still aren't going to make it because I think every wildcard team is going to get at least 10 wins. It's over. It's over for Cincinnati. They've got no tiebreakers. They've got no way to get to the playoffs. Even if they win out, they're probably going to miss the postseason. 9-8 is not enough to get in the playoffs. It's over for Cincinnati. And we know it. Here comes Derrick Henry running the ball again. Baltimore has to do something with this possession. You're down by 2. You got to get something going on. So Blankenship's out with a concussion and Bateman is out with that knee injury. 3rd down here. Baltimore's just going to line up and run it 3 times. 3rd down and 2. You give it back to the King. Baltimore's 3 of 10 on 3rd down. They have not been great on 3rd down here. They might, I don't know. I might suggest play action here. I don't trust this offensive line if you give the ball to Derrick Henry. Play action could potentially work here. There's the play action. Lamar. Got to find somebody. Lamar dumped it off to Henry. Henry breaks a tackle. Henry picks up the 1st down. Find a way. Zay was wide open. Flag on the play. I wasn't even looking to where Zay was. I would like to see the replay. See, Tony's saying everyone's covered, but you're saying Zay Flowers is wide open. I have to see the play. Because if you're seeing him come across the middle, you're forgetting the safeties. Tony says everybody was covered. I don't know what happened.
If there was no flag, this would have been an incredible play that could determine a football game in a lot of ways.
Holding on the defense is going to be a 1st down for the Ravens. I would like to see the replay if Zay is open. Let me see Zay Flowers. If he's coming across the middle, you can't just assume he's open because there is a safety over the top. Zay Flowers has a man on him, and by the time he got a little bit of separation, Lamar was already crowded. So no, Zay's not open by the time Lamar had defenders in his face. Like I said, you're watching from the sideline, you're forgetting there's a safety and there's other defenders there. So no, Zay was not open by the time Lamar had 2 defenders in his face and had to just dump it off to Henry, who was to his right. 1st and 10 Ravens, they couldn't afford to get off the field after that. They needed to keep this drive alive. You're in the 4th quarter now, down 2 in this type of game. You got to keep the game alive. They're going to go play action here. There it is. Lamar floats it. Andrews, 1st down. Where were you for most of the game? I was at work. I was at work for most of the game. Like I said it back in my recap last week that I wasn't going to be here for the Eagles-Ravens game. But I said if I get off on time, I could be here for the second half. So I got off on time. I drove down home, and I got here for the second half. So I've been here for the 3rd quarter, and I'm here now for the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 for the Ravens at their own 39-yard line. This is a handoff to Derrick Henry. They're going play fake again? Back-to-back play action? Lamar going deep. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Flowers saying he got held. Zay Flowers is calling for a flag, saying he got held on the play. Let me look. Oh, that's a hold. Yeah, that's a hold. He did it twice. He tugged the jersey. He tugged the jersey twice. No call on the play. He tugged the jersey twice, but they're going to let it slide. All I'm saying is if we're going to allow them to play physical, allow them to play physical. Don't call a dumb flag at the end of the game just to ruin things. If we're going to let them play physical, let them play physical. 2nd and 10. Lamar drops back. Lamar. Defenders in his face. Sidearm throws it. Likely catches it with one hand. Ooh, runs into the table. Is he okay? Incomplete, but likely running into the table. That's not what you want to see. Is he okay? Likely caught that with one hand, but obviously he did not get both feet in bounds. Amazing catch, but he was way out of bounds for that one. Yeah. 3rd down and 10. Baltimore right now got to find a way to keep this drive alive. Being down by 2 means you still have opportunities, but you've got to keep this drive alive. It's a tough physical game here in Baltimore. You've got a couple missed field goals by Tucker. You're down by 2. Pressure's going to come from your right side, Lamar. They've got guys on the edge. You're not going to get a lot of time. You've got to find somebody quickly here. 3rd down and 10. Deep drop back. Lamar stepping up. Tosses it. Hill. Defenders were all over it. So now it's 4th down. You got to punt. On 4th down, you got to punt. Not what you want to see, but you've got nobody open. You got to punt. And the pressure was coming quickly. There was nobody open. Pressure's coming quickly. You just got to dump it. You just got to dump it. I'm surprised. Justice Hill probably could have cut that back left and maybe would have got more yardage. Gonna have to punt it. Eagles defense was not like this all last year. Yeah, because they fixed their defense this year. False start on the offense. It's a tough physical game. It's a tough physical game. Now you got to go ask the defense to go do their jobs. Now you got to go with the punt. He's going to return this punt. And he's going to be dropped around the 28-yard line. So Philly's offense, with 11:20 left, a 2-point lead, they're going to try to add to that lead. But right now, Philadelphia's offense has done a bunch of nothing. Baltimore's done nothing. Philly's done nothing. It's been a weird game. Like, both teams have gone stagnant. Like, legitimately, both teams have gone stagnant with the game. The difference is Tucker's missed his field goals. Stout has been such a mid punter for us. He has not been great. He's not been great. That's all I can say. And the weird part about it is, like, Sam Cook is on the team, and he's supposed to be helping coaching him, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just been weird how the punching has just been. You know, we missed the days of Sam Cook. We absolutely missed the days of Sam Cook. It's been a frustrating day for both sides. You know, Baltimore's had opportunities and they've missed them. Philadelphia's had opportunities and they've done nothing with it. You know, Saquon has been held to 44 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts 100 yards passing through 3 quarters, and there's 11:20 left in the fourth. It's just been a frustrating game for both sides. The secondary's been holding up all day, so receivers aren't getting open, and by the time they get open, the ball's already out or Lamar's getting sacked. So it's been that type of day. Same thing for Jalen Hurts. He can't find anybody downfield. And then you just check the ball down to Saquon, and he just got 2 defenders. He's got to make a move out of that. So again, both defenses are fundamentally sound today. Why trade for Deontay Johnson? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Go ask John that. Go ask DeCosta that. I don't know. You would assume in this situation with Bateman down, you would throw in Deontay Johnson. But again, they got this guy for virtually nothing, so it doesn't matter if he does. They got him for nothing. They got him for free. So when you get a player for free and you don't use him, well, you didn't lose anything. You just got him for free. Rams up 21-14. New Orleans at the Rams 9-yard line, but it's 4th and 3. They might kick a field goal. Wait, it's 1:13 left, so they're actually gonna have to go for this on 4th down because the game is on the line here. If they don't convert and pick up a 1st down and make it 1st and goal, the game's over. Tampa Bay up 17-16. Carolina has the ball, so we'll see what happens there. But it's a 4th and 3 situation with 1:13 left. The Saints have 2 timeouts, so if they don't get this, the game is over because 2 timeouts is not enough to stop the clock. Actually, technically it is because you can stop it once, stop it twice, and that 3rd time, 40 seconds will be taken off the clock. But you need 7 points. So if you don't get this, you're in trouble. 4th and 3 here for the Saints. Meanwhile, Ravens defense has been doing their job for much of today, but it's another one of those weeks where the Ravens offense just gets stagnated. The Ravens offense gets stagnated. They don't know what they're doing. They're getting stopped. Got to give credit to the defense because both defenses have come to play. An hour and 14 minutes of real time since the Eagles have gotten the 1st down. They need a drive to try to seal this away here. They're going to give it to Saquon on 1st down, and Saquon's going to pick up some good yardage here. Picks up about 5. 2nd down coming up here for the Eagles. Rams called their 2nd timeout, so they want to get themselves prepared defensively to see if they can make a stop on 4th and 3. I think what you do here, if you're Philadelphia, is you go quickly. Well, yeah, that's what they're going to do. You go quickly here. 2nd down here. Hurts holding on to the ball. Fires across the middle. It's caught, but a flag is on the play. That could be holding. That could be holding. Whether it's on the offense or defense, that could be holding. That could be holding. Holding on the defense. That's going to be a 1st down. That's the first 1st down Philadelphia's had in over an hour. Still 4th and 3 here. Saints going to go for this here. I do want to switch over to see if they're going to get this. 1st and 10 for Philly. Obviously, Baltimore at this point in time, with the way your offense played, you can't afford to give up a touchdown. You'd prefer to give up no points, but you know how it is. They're going to hand this to Saquon. This might actually be play action here. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to hand it. Oh, no, this... I don't think that was the play. It seemed like he was going to go... I don't know if he was going to toss it. What was that play that Jalen Hurts was trying to do? Was he looking to... Oh! The Saints. They get stopped on 4th down. The Saints get stopped on 4th down. The game is most likely over. And they ran and picked up a 1st down. That's game. Rams are going to get the win. Rams are going to get the win. 2nd down and 7 here. Drop back pass for Hurts. Hurts is running for his life. Hurts. That better get back to the line of scrimmage. I think it did. Yeah, I got back. 3rd down and 7. Yeah, New Orleans using their timeouts, but the game is over. They picked up a first down. Game is over. The Rams are going to go to 6-6. They're still alive in their division. They're still alive in their division. Rams are going to go to 6-6. They're finally back to 500. The Seahawks are 7-5. The Rams are 6-6. And this final stretch for the NFC West is on the line. 3rd down and 7. Ravens defense trying to make a stop. Hurts going to take the snap here. Got to go quickly. Nothing's open. He's going to fire across the middle. It's caught. What a catch by Goddard to pick up the first down. Eagles moving the chains. We're under 10 minutes left to go. Obviously, Baltimore's defense knows they got to make a stop here. Cannot afford to give up a touchdown here. Your offense needs to get the ball back. Hurts just stands in the pocket, and he just gets it to Goddard. And why do you have Brandon Stevens coming across the middle? I'm not going to say him being on Goddard's a bad thing because Goddard's not fast, but I don't like this. I don't like, what's his name? Oh, Saquon breaks free. Saquon breaks free and picks up a first down. That is the first big run of Saquon here. That's going to take them into Ravens territory. And now the Ravens have to start thinking, you got to start thinking, hold them to 3. You've got to hold them to 3. If Kyle Hamilton does not make that tackle, Saquon is gone for the touchdown. So at this point, Baltimore has to start thinking, we got to make a stop here and force a field goal. We've got to make a stop and force a field goal. With 9 minutes left, if Philadelphia scores a touchdown, you're going to be on the wrong side of this game. 1st and 10. The advantage is to Philadelphia. Baltimore had their opportunities, did nothing with the ball. Tucker could not get it. Now here comes Jalen Hurts up the middle. Jalen Hurts picking up a first down. The Ravens are now getting cooked by this zone. They're running RPOs. They're running zone reads. They can't stop it right now. The Eagles, excuse me, are now picking apart the Ravens defense. A touchdown here puts the Ravens in trouble. A touchdown here puts the Ravens in trouble. A touchdown here puts the Ravens in trouble. And no one will be mad. You'll sit back and say, hey, you had opportunities. Tucker didn't make the field goals. Hurts. Hands it to Saquon. Saquon breaks free. Saquon inside the 10, the 5, touchdown. And the Eagles are going to extend their lead. And now, with the way this is officially 4-down territory for Baltimore. This is officially 4-down territory for Baltimore. This is officially 4-down territory for Baltimore. They have not played well offensively. Saquon breaks free the way he's been doing in all 4 quarters. At some point, Saquon Barkley was going to get his. You tried to stop him, and that's how it is. So, with 8 minutes left, Baltimore has all 3 timeouts left. You know it's a 4-down game. You're going to have to go score a touchdown. 21-12. It's a 9-point game, so going for 2 is not going to change it. In time for 7 points. 7 points left on the field. You mean 7 minutes left on the field. So, yeah, now it's time for Baltimore. 7 minutes left to go in the game. You know what's on the line. You got to go out there, score a touchdown, and then you got to put the ball in the hands of the defense, or put your hopes in the hand of the you got to put your hopes in the defense and see if they can go make a stop. But it starts with Baltimore now. It's touchdown time. It's touchdown or nothing. I like how you've been acting up because it recently changed you. It's time. The Ravens spent a whole 3rd quarter dominating and did absolutely nothing with the football. It's time. Put up or shut up. Once again, it's going to be another one of those games where you just look back and say, well, the Ravens had the opportunities, but you missed the field goals. People are like they beat themselves again. Look, if we look at the stats, Baltimore has dominated in time of possession. If we're looking at the stats, Baltimore has dominated. They've dominated 31 minutes to 20 minutes. They've got 31 minutes to 21 minutes. They've got no one to blame but themselves. You spent the whole 3rd quarter doing absolutely nothing. You got into field goal twice. You got into field goal range twice, and Tucker missed twice. If we lose, I officially smell a first-round exit around the corner. Dude, even if they win, this still looks like a first-round team. You thought if they beat the Eagles, all of a sudden, unless it was a defining win, nobody was going to believe this team is not a first-round exit team. They still feel like a first-round exit team. So nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Game over? Well, if the game's over, I guess I can leave now. Since you said game's over, might as well turn off the stream. Could just turn this off right now. Well, guys, apparently the game is over. We don't need to watch the last 8 minutes after all. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, thank you so much for joining the stream. I guess I can just kind of head on out because I was told the game was over. So since the game is over, might as well head on out. I'll probably make a recap video later. Probably tomorrow. I don't think I'm really tired. I came home from work, so I'll probably have to make a recap video later. And most likely again tomorrow, and we'll just go from there. So the Ravens fall to 8-5 in the season, and you head into the bye week with a lot of questions. Do you look at this team and say, yeah, that's a Super Bowl contending team? What do you do at this point? So, like, that's the question you're going to happen. Heading into the bye week 8-5 is not what you want to look at, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, for me, I'm not really mad. I said one of the 5 losses Ravens would suffer would be against Philadelphia. So, the thing about it is the Ravens have yet to exceed my expectations. So, every time they lose to a team I expected them to lose to, it doesn't surprise me. So, I know people are going to be mad and pissed off if we lose this game, but, like, this fits the standard of what I thought. I said the 5 losses were going to be against Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Kansas City, and either Buffalo, Philadelphia, or Houston. That was one of them. That was the list I had. Now, we swept Cincinnati, so we didn't have to worry about that. But we lost to the Raiders in the game we shouldn't have lost. Philadelphia was one of the teams I thought we would lose to. So if we end up losing, it's not going to surprise me. You head to the bye week 8-5, you just got to start questioning things. I don't think anyone thinks the Ravens are a Super Bowl team. No, there's still Ravens fans that are still saying that. This is a first-round exit team. Now, if they get hot in the playoffs, I guess, but this is a first-round exit team. Derrick Henry picks up a first down. I thought you said we would only lose 3. I said we would lose 5. I said we would be 12-5 this year. I never said we would lose 3. I said that maybe the best thing you could get from me from what I said would be our ceiling would be 14-3. But my expectations were 12-5. Lamar, nobody's open, buddy. Makes a play down the field to Zay Flowers. No flag on the play. Steelers, Texans, and Browns left. Yeah, I expect them to win those games. If you don't, that's on you, but I expect you to win those games. We lose in 2 more games. If they do, it's on them, but I expect them to be 12-5. If you don't win those games, it's on you. I don't know what else to say. Like you said, game's over. Tinkle Bell made the last 7 minutes of the game disappear. Not worth crying over spilled milk at this point. I mean, pretty much. Second down and 10. I really just want to go relax for the rest of the day. Baltimore can do whatever they want to do. You know, you're down. It's 7 minutes left in the game, and they're still running these type of plays with Derrick Henry. That's just weird. Like, that's not going to work against this front 7 that's been shutting that down all game. And the offensive line has shown they can't stop the Eagles' front 7, so I'm not exactly sure what you're expecting to get with that. Anyway, 3rd and 11, and Lamar, someone's coming after you. You got to fire it to Derrick Henry, who's going to get dropped. And it's 4th down territory, so you obviously have to go for this. So, yeah, if they don't get this 4th down, I feel like I can leave. Can we all at least come to an agreement? If they don't pick up this 1st down, can I at least leave? If they don't pick up the first down here on this 4th down play, can I leave? You can't put the football here. You absolutely can't punt the football. So if they don't get this 4th and 8 with 6 minutes left, Philly's going to drain the clock, and that's just all she wrote. That's literally all she wrote. Baltimore goes to 8-5, and we just move to the bye week. That's kind of just how it is. 4th and 8 for the game. They're only going to send 4. Lamar's got space to try to run this. Lamar, just take off. Lamar, there's open space for him to run for the 1st down, and he doesn't take off. That's game. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I will be heading on out. That should have been picked. I don't understand why Lamar doesn't take off. Look at the play. If you cannot convince me Lamar Jackson don't want to run no more. Look at I know they've got guys there, but he needed 8 yards. Look at the space. You're telling me Lamar Jackson can't get 8 yards there. If he cuts back to the right, he can't get 8 yards? Lamar don't want to take off anymore, man. Y'all done called this man running back so much to the point where he refuses to take off. And with 6 minutes left, Philadelphia is going to win the game. I mean, they're at the Ravens 40. The best you can hope is they kick a field goal and it's a 2-score game, but what else are you going to say here? Never trust in the Ravens again. You shouldn't trust them in the first place. I told y'all to come into the season with zero expectations. It's your fault if you trusted them. And now Saquon's just going to run. So Lamar is a choker. He chokes in big games. That's great. Lamar is a choker. The Ravens are chokers. That's great. Cool. Give them the title forever. You don't have to repeat it 1,000 times. Okay? We don't have to come here every week and say the same thing. Lamar is a choker. The Ravens are chokers. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. There. Cool. It's stated. We get it. Can we move on, please? Like, I don't want to hear the same 12 things over and over again. Can we not be a repetitive chat here? We get it. It's cool. He's a choker. Their team chokes in big games. They can't get it done. When they win big games, no one cares. When they lose big games, they're a choker. We got it. It's cool. Move on. Ravens 8-5. You head into the bye week with a bunch of questions. We're just frustrated. Again, you could do the frustration thing. Again, you guys are free to feel frustrated. I don't have any surprise here. What am I supposed to be surprised with? What am I supposed to be surprised with? What's left if we can't win a big game or Super Bowl? You keep playing football. Is football going to stop? No. You keep trying until you either get it or you don't. That's football. You either keep trying until you get a Super Bowl or you don't. Like, what do you mean what's left? You play the games. What's left? You got 5 games after this. Is it 5 games? You're going to be 8-5. So no, you got 4 games after this, so that's what's left. 4 games and maybe a wild card game on the road that you probably lose. That's what's left. So I don't know what else you want me to say. I'm not going to repeat myself 15 million times and do this back and forth about this team. I told y'all coming to the season with no expectations. I told y'all what this team is. What do you want me to say? They are who we thought they were. And the Eagles are going to do the tush push to get the first down. Oh, look, you got the first down with the tush push. I mean, let's be honest. Are they going to say he's short? They're going to say he's short. That's BS. That's BS. That's BS. He got the first down. They're just going to run the tush push again. Also, using one of your 3 timeouts was just dumb. But it is what it is. What do you honestly see the Ravens doing if we lose in the playoffs again? I don't know. Run it back. They don't learn from their lessons. It's the same thing under Harbaugh. What do you want me to say? I told y'all, this team's not winning a Super Bowl unless significant changes are made. No significant changes are going to be made, so it's going to be the same thing next year. What else do you want me to say, guys? What else do you want me to say? I've been saying this for a while now. I cannot continue to repeat my statements. We cannot be here after every single loss saying this. What do you want me to say? Changes? Start with the head coach. Change the philosophy of the team. You start there. Next, you probably start investing in aspects you should have invested in. Everyone got on Eric DeCosta's case about the offensive line. Look at how the offensive line has performed against some of the best front sevens in football. Maybe you should invest in that. Also, you probably should have kept Mike McDonald. You're kind of stuck with what it is. Yeah, start with Harbaugh. Start with the coaching philosophy in this locker room is the biggest change that needs to be made. Next, you start looking at personnel. You've got to retool this offensive line to make it stout. You need to protect Lamar and give opportunities for Henry. Then you start looking at the pass rush. You've got to start really taking a look at the weaknesses here. I think it starts with the coaching philosophy because the same issues the Ravens have had for years now have been happening under John Harbaugh. So you continue to look at this. They're going to pick up the first down with the tush push, but he could just hop and put this like this. Oh, look, Jalen Hurts got the first down. I'm so surprised. Sports is such a double-edged sword. You live by it, you die by it. It's the same story each and every day. Nobody's surprised. So this game's over. I'm really just going to go. So what am I going to watch afterwards? I'm going to go. You guys should have kept Mike McDonald. The Ravens don't learn from their mistakes. They don't learn. They don't grow. They don't change. They don't improve. It's the same thing with the Ravens every single week. Okay? It's the same thing every single week, every single year. This was one of the 5 losses I expected. I'm not mad. Y'all are free to be mad. I'm not mad. I expected them to lose this game. Did you see me make a preview? No. I expected them to lose this game. And they lost. Every time the Ravens have a chance to prove me wrong, they literally do exactly how I say they're going to play. They never exceed my expectations. They always find a way to prove me right. And it's unfortunate that that is the case. They always find a way to prove me right. And you never want your football team to prove you right. You never want your football team to prove you right. But Baltimore has found a way to prove me right every single year. The one moment I thought they might finally prove me wrong was after the division round last year heading into the AFC Championship game. That's when I thought they might have proven me wrong. Because I didn't know if they would make those adjustments against Houston. And they did. And I thought, okay, if they bring this to the title game, they'll be in the Super Bowl. And they didn't. And they went back to what I expected from John Harbaugh-led teams. The Ravens have not exceeded my expectations. So it's hard for me to be mad at this point. Why would I be mad? It's hard to be angry when you expect this from your football team. Like teams that expect, when they know their teams are bad, and then Saquon fumbled the ball. Saquon fumbled the ball. And if he did not get that back, Baltimore has it. Nope, he fumbled the ball, but the Eagles got it back. He fumbled the ball, but the Eagles got it back. Saquon fumbled the ball, but they said it went back to the Eagles. What's that noise? It's my fire alarm in here, which is weird because we changed the battery recently. I'll check it out after the stream. Yeah, Saquon just fumbled that. And how do you not get it as the Ravens? I don't know. You just find a way to not get it. This team is so frustrating. Again, it's frustrating for you guys. This is within my expectations. I said this is a first round. If the Ravens exceed my expectations, what do you want me to... Like, again, they do the same things I expect them to do. They've been doing it for years. I can sense a pattern. So when you can sense a pattern with the football team, where do you get surprised? Like, I'm being serious. They've been doing the same thing for years now. Should I be surprised by the Ravens doing the same thing they've been doing for years now under John Harbaugh? Should I be surprised by these type of games? Where would I be surprised by? This team has been consistently losing games. See, right there. Playoff Ravens mode activated. They have been doing this so consistently. We make memes of that. And it's not even memes because this is who they are. The way the Ravens play today, that's exactly how the Ravens play in the playoffs. The only difference is somehow Lamar didn't end up with a turnover. And he should have because he fumbled the ball. But it's the same thing. Baltimore can start off well. This is the thing about Baltimore. I'll tell you this every single time. If Baltimore's starting off well, don't get excited. If Baltimore's starting off well, don't cheer. If Baltimore's starting off well, don't be praised. Don't be praising the team and say, yeah, we're about to do this. No. Wait until they make the first mistake. Baltimore does this every single time. And this is why I call them paper tigers. Once Baltimore makes a mistake, they struggle to recover. What ends up happening? They were up 9-0. Lamar had Likely down the field. Miscommunication. Likely's going outwards. Lamar expected to go out and turn it so that he can hit him and strive for a touchdown. Miscommunication. The very next play, Lamar fumbles a snap and has to fall on it. They end up having to punt the ball. From that point forward, what ends up happening? The offense can't get back in order. Every time Tucker misses multiple field goals, we have lost that game. Go check the tape. Every time Justin Tucker has missed multiple field goals, we've lost the game. What else do you want me to say? It's the same story with the Ravens every single year. There's nothing else that needs to change. There's nothing else that needs to be said. There's nothing else that needs to change in terms of my statement being the Ravens are the same old team. There's nothing else that needs to be changed in that statement. They're the same old team. Tucker and O-line. So this week it's Tucker and the O-line. Next week it's the receivers. Another week is the defense. Another week it's Lamar turning the ball over. It's the same thing with the Ravens. What's up, keeping it real? I have Lamar in fantasy, but not going well. It is what it is, bro. It's one of those games. I still like Lamar, but he missed some key throws. He missed the wide open Zay several times. It's one of those games. The Ravens do this all the time. That's why I had them at 5 losses. Because I knew at some point, 5 times during the season, I knew the Ravens would play like this. Because they do that every year. 5 times they'll play like this. Now, they did this last year too. Only difference is they found a way to win 1 extra game. They played like this a few times but escaped. The Chargers game was an example. The Jaguars game was an example. They found ways to win those games. But everyone knew they were very close to losing both those games against those teams. That could have easily been 2 losses. The difference is they won those games. They won those games. This year they're starting to lose some of those extra games. It is what it is, man. It's tiring talking about the same old thing when the Ravens continue to show you who they are. This is who they are. That's why we said first round exit. That's why we said this team's not going to a Super Bowl. It's not going to get done. Same old, same old. last season versus the Jaguars on primetime. If you watch the game was close. And there were opportunities where the Jaguars nearly had a chance to take the lead or put us on the back foot. What ends up happening? They get bailed out by Trevor Lawrence dropping the football for no reason. If you watch those moments against the Jaguars, we came very close to losing. Against the Chargers, we came very close to losing. There was some key moments in the fourth quarter where things kind of went our way. And by the way, we almost fumbled on that exchange between Lamar and Zay Flowers. But Zay Flowers managed to hold on and took it to the house for a touchdown to basically ice the game. And that was on third down too. We had moments last year between the Jacksonville Jaguars on primetime and the Chargers on primetime where we came very close to losing those games. We just won those games last year. This year, we're losing those games. This is what Baltimore does. I promise you, Baltimore has not changed, and they will not change under John Harbaugh. Trusting this team in the playoffs is the biggest fool's gold you can do. They're snake oil. You don't trust snake oil. You don't trust this team. They can play like this one week, and they can play like this the next week. You saw how they played against the Chargers. That was the high. This week is the low. A high-low, 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 high-low. A high-low team's not going to win a Super Bowl. A high-low team is not going to win a Super Bowl. So why do we keep pretending? Why do we keep pretending that what we're seeing on film, what we're seeing in these games is something new to us? Why do we keep pretending? It's not new to us. It's not surprising. They've done this over and over and over and over under John Harbaugh. They were doing this before Lamar. They're doing it with Lamar. What's different? The way they've lost games is the way they lost games in 2017. It's the way they lost games in 2016. It's the way they lost games in 2015. It's the way they lost games in 2014. Hell, in 2013, when they needed to win those biggest games, guess what? They lost them. You remember after the Vikings game when they had the heroics to keep their season alive? They ended up losing the next games and missed the playoffs. They weren't ready to play Cincinnati when they needed to beat them in 2013 to try to make the playoffs. They blew it. So what do I say? This is the same thing. 2014 divisional round, had two 14-point leads, blew both of them. 2017 against the Bengals, a Bengals team that had nothing to play for. You have a chance to go to the playoffs. A big game. Got to show up so you can make the playoffs. What did they do? They lose the game. 2016 with the division on the line against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. You have a lead with a minute left. What do the Ravens do? They've been doing this for years, guys. This is not different under John Harbaugh. They've been doing this for years. Their next opponent is the Giants, but they got a bye week coming up. So the Ravens are going to go on their bye week, and then after the bye week, they're going to come out of their bye week, and they're going to take on the New York Giants. But nothing's changed, man. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. Bengals are shockingly worse than I thought they'd be. Yeah, they're going to miss the playoffs this year. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, guys. Nothing's changed. It's unfortunate, but nothing's changed. 4th down and 12. They blocked the field goal. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to return it, but I'm pretty sure someone jumped. Probably going to be an offsides flag. Wiggins was offsides for the blocked field goal. It's going to be 4th down here. But yeah, it's the same story with the Ravens. That's why it's not even, I'm not even at a point where I'm mad anymore. I expect this team to be a first-round exit. I've enjoyed some of the games this year. I will keep enjoying the games, and we'll see what happens the last 4 games. But this team is not winning a Super Bowl. Now, you have a bye week to assess everything, and I think a big loss like this in a game, a loss like this against a team like this in a moment like this is a huge wake-up call for you. If you can't assess your team coming out of the bye week, then there's nothing I can do to help you. But I feel like even if they assess their team, unless a major change happens, there's no way this team's going to be inspired enough to go make a run in the playoffs. They're a first-round exit. They're a first-round exit. Kick is up. It's good. Make it a 12-point game. Baltimore's going to lose 24-12. Even if they go down the field and score a touchdown, it's just empty numbers and empty stats. This ain't no Super Bowl team. Yeah, they're a first-round exit. I've been saying this for a while now. They're a first-round exit. Bryce Young stepping up in the pocket, finds a man, touchdown Carolina, 30 seconds left. Tampa Bay, man, I'm scared. You're fighting with the Falcons for the division. You can't let this happen. Philly did not play their best football, and they still won the game. Baltimore had the entire third quarter to try to win this game, and they couldn't do it. What a performance. 12 points at home against the Philadelphia Eagles in a big game. And you know the media is going to run their mouth all week. Good news for me. I won't care. I won't be watching the media. I take these losses as vacations. Every time the Ravens lose, I take a vacation from sports. I did that last week. I'll do it again this week. You just take a vacation from sports. You chill out. You relax. You don't think about the game. It works for me. I'm perfectly fine, and I don't have to worry about it. This season has been really calm for me because, again, I don't have any specific reason to be mad. The Ravens are who I thought they were. I expected this out of them. Am I supposed to be shocked? I said they'd lose to Kansas City, and they did. I said they'd lose to Pittsburgh, and they did. I said they'd lose to Cleveland at Cleveland, and they did. I said they'd lose to the Eagles, and they did. This is who they are. I want the Ravens to surprise me as a fan. Go out there and win those games. Surprise me. They haven't done it. They haven't done it. Every time I've put these tests out there for the Ravens to try to prove me and the fan base wrong and show us you can do it, they fail the test. So why would I sit back and believe that this team is going to be able to all of a sudden magically put it together come playoff time if you can't even show up for a big game at home? You've shown us nothing. At this point, we're just wasting time here. Lamar's going to pad the stats, and that's just going to be it. And Justice Hill doesn't even look for the ball. Lamar just throws over his head. Well, I guess at this point, it's not even going to be pad the stats. It's going to be hurting his stats, I guess. I don't know what you want to say. Just a waste of time. Eagles already took over our stadium. Most Ravens fans have already headed for the exits. Both just playing the way they play. It's tough to be mad. Yeah, I saw the end of the Bears game. It don't matter. Even Flus is already fired. It's tough to feel mad. I know there's a lot of fans in Baltimore that's probably pissed off. I know there's a lot of fans on social media that's probably pissed off. There's nothing for me to say, man. I'm not mad. I'm not frustrated. It's the same thing every year. I've reached that point where as long as the Ravens are showing me they're not going to make changes, I don't need to sit here. Last year was easily the best chance to win a Super Bowl, but the team sold. Yeah, I mean, I told y'all they weren't going to win a Super Bowl under John Harbaugh. I thought they could potentially prove me wrong. They didn't. This team's not built to go deep in the playoffs. They haven't been built to go deep in the playoffs since the moment they chose to move off of Mike McDonald, we knew they weren't built for this. And I came into the season saying let's have no expectations. Can you talk about Justin Tucker? I've been talked about Justin Tucker. We talked about Justin Tucker for 20 minutes when he was missing the kicks. What else do you want me to say? He's missed the kicks. He's been bad. I already said they're probably going to have to start asking themselves questions as to whether or not they want to move on from Justin Tucker. I don't have anything to say about Tucker. I've already said what needed to be said. You're probably going to have to look for a new kicker. They're going to have those discussions in the offseason. But nothing else to be said now. Lamar just throwing the ball at this point. Just wasting time. 28 seconds. Just wasting time. Nothing's going to change. Somebody needs to tell Tucker to squabble up in the locker room. Even if Tucker made those field goals, we don't know how the game would have gone. Baltimore just came out and played the way I expected them to play. Our window closed once we let McDonald go and other players on defense. The biggest way to reopen that window in the offseason, make some changes. Starting with Harbaugh. Bring in a new philosophy and see if you can make a change here. Because again, Harbaugh's tired, decrepit philosophy is not going to get this team to the promised land. It's not. And we're going to see more performances like this because it's a classic John Harbaugh move. But unfortunately, the Ravens aren't going to learn from their mistakes. They're not going to make any improvements. And it's going to be the same thing every single year. So I can't wait for next year. After this team ultimately falls short, because they'll probably still make the playoffs. When they fall short in the playoffs and go one and done, we'll be back next season to see how John Harbaugh's going to waste another year of Lamar's career.
Your whole organization, the entire coaching staff, will spend all week studying themselves.
Like, you got the bye week to, I guess, assess yourselves, but you don't, like, you're coming off of the bye week to face off against the Giants. That's not a test. Coming off the bye week to face off the Giants is not a test. Even if you demolish them, no one's going to be impressed. You had a chance to make a statement here against the Eagles, and what do? You fail to make a statement against the Eagles. Oh, look at Lamar just strolling. 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 Lamar just strolling with all these running yards. And of course the flag's going to probably take it away. It's going to be some... Did they say it was a flag? Did they say it was a flag or is it fine? Oh, no, they didn't say it was a flag. So at least Lamar gets to pad the stats. I guess with 7 seconds left, go score a touchdown to pad the stats so you can make it 28-19 to make it seem like the game was close. Gotta pad those stats. Yeah, I mean, a lot needs to change in Baltimore. If there's anything that needs to be said, in some cases, the defense is showing improvements here, but the offense is selling now. So the defense, what is with this team that they can't play well offensively and defensively? The defense is starting to come together. The defense is starting to come together as the offense is starting to enrail. So it's really funny how that's working. For much of the season, the offense was doing their thing and the defense was selling. Now, the defense is starting to come together. We're watching now 3 straight games. The defense is starting to come together as the offense proceeds to do nothing. The defense held Philadelphia to 0 points in the third quarter, and Baltimore could not capitalize on that. What do you want me to do with that? At some point, you can't even look at the defense. Defense did their job today. I don't care what no one says. You held Saquon Barkley to as much as you possibly can. Lamar with 6 seconds left. Touchdown likely. Who cares? Just padding the stats. Shut up, Tony. Shut up. Shut up, Tony. Shut up, Tony. Game's not over. Shut up, Tony. As if they're going to, kick the onside kick. They get it. They're going to launch a Hail Mary to win the game. Shut up, Tony. Nobody cares that you got a touchdown. At the end of the day, you're just padding the stats. You're just padding the stats. You know, this was probably one of the times, I always say you got to adjust. Maybe at times they probably really should have looked to air it out in certain circumstances. But it is what it is. Tucker makes the extra point, 5-point game, like it's going to matter. Now you're going to kick the onside kick. And then if you somehow get the onside kick, you got to launch a Hail Mary to win the game. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Go in your bye week. You get the Giants, and you got Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cleveland. Win 2 of those games, and you make the playoffs as a wild card. You got to probably beat the Giants in Houston because you're probably full. Or maybe the Giants in Cleveland, and then you'll probably lose to Pittsburgh again knowing this team. But, yeah. The defense is starting to come together as the offense is starting to unrail, just like we all expected it to. I mean, it's the same thing with the Ravens, man. It's just same thing. Like, what do I do with this, man? Same thing with the Ravens. I don't care. At the end of the day, that's why I don't care about stats. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna look at the stats and say Lamar had a great game. It's not his fault they lost. He missed a few throws in this game. He missed throws in this game. He missed throws. Lamar is a contributing factor to why they lost today. He missed throws. He did not have a great game. I don't care what the stats say. He did not have a great game. Past the first quarter, Lamar did nothing. Past the first quarter, Lamar did little to nothing. Is he the main reason they lost? No, I think Justin Tucker's going to he's going to bite the bullet on this one. Justin Tucker's going to bite the bullet because he missed those 2 field goals and the extra point. But is Lamar a reason they lost? Yeah. Tucker just kicked it so we can all go home. Oh, look, he's not going to get it. Oh, he got it. Let's go home. Wasting everybody's time. Lamar messed up on some key plays. The offensive line couldn't block to save their lives. Receivers couldn't get open, and when they could get open, they either weren't catching the ball, Lamar wasn't delivering the ball to them, and then Tucker sold the game with all the missed kicks. It's the same thing every single year with the Ravens to an extent. Congratulations on padding the stats. I guess in terms of Lamar's statistics, it helps out. 237 yards. He had 237 yards passing, 103 passer rating, 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 79 yards. I mean, you padded the stats. You padded the stats. Take a look at this, guys. I want you to not even take a look. Let me read this out to you. Philadelphia had 252 total yards of offense. They had 252 yards of offense. The defense is starting to come together. The defense is starting to come together just in time for the offense to start pissing themselves. There's no consistency. There's no consistency. And now Philadelphia goes to 10-2. They stay up there. Pittsburgh at 9-3, sitting nice and comfortable. They don't have to worry. They beat Cincinnati, and they're looking great in the division. Pittsburgh's going to win the division. Baltimore, but you know what? I'm fine with it. Prepare for that first-round matchup against Houston. Maybe you can catch Houston lacking. Houston's playing worse football than we are right now. They're a mess just like we are. Maybe you can catch Houston lacking. You're at the 6th seed now. Oh, then that means you're going to Pittsburgh now. You better hope you can beat. You better hope you get the 5th seed so you can get Houston. You better hope you get the 5th seed so you can get Houston. But this team's not winning the division. They're a first-round exit. There's so many things wrong with this team. Okay, there's so many things wrong with this team. The defense starts to figure it out just in time for the offense to start pissing themselves. Nothing you can do about it.
Ravens are 2 games behind against Pittsburgh in the loss column. They do have the rematch game.
Nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. You sit there, you deal with it. Like I said, this team's a first-round exit, so I'm not really tripping. We got 4 more games left. I'm going to enjoy these last 4 games, talk about the Ravens, and then head into the offseason. EDC, Harbaugh, and Monken got to go. EDC's not going nowhere. As long as he keeps bringing players, he's not going nowhere. Harbaugh's not going nowhere because EDC is his next-door neighbor, and he's not firing his neighbor. Monken's not going anywhere because Lamar's putting up great numbers. And restructure. Yeah, Lamar can't win big games. That's great, slippery. Yep, restructure. Might as well get rid of the whole team because Lamar can't play great games. Receivers can't show up in great games. The Monken's got to go. The offensive line's got to go. Lamar's got to go. Fire everybody and get rid of the team. How about we just get rid of the Ravens in Baltimore and just rebuild? How about that? How about we disconnect the franchise, get rid of all the players, coaches, and guys, and let's bring in a new team to Baltimore? Why not do that? Against tough defenses, this offense folds every time. It's not really tough defense, it's more physical defenses. They faced off against tough defenses that aren't physical. But against physical defenses, they fold. Against physical defenses, they fold. Lamar can't win big games with good defenses. Incorrect. Lamar cannot, well, the Ravens can't win games when they can't win big games against physical defenses. It's not about going up against good defenses. They've played good defenses. They can't play against physical defenses. Pittsburgh has a physical defense. Philadelphia has a physical defense. Kansas City has a physical defense. Cleveland has a physical defense. They struggle against physical defenses. But there are some defenses that aren't as physical that are still good, and the Ravens can deal with that. The offensive line is brittle as hell. They are brittle. They are a brittle offensive line, and the team never can find a way to get open and connect whenever it happens. We had our chance last year, Harbaugh soft. I called this team Paper Tigers. I guess I should make another video afterwards. I don't know. That's because EDC and Harbs draft good characters, not character guys, not dogs. Well, it is what it is. Like I said, Ravens are a first-round exit. I wouldn't trip all over it. I really wouldn't trip over it. Like, they're a first-round exit. The sooner you accept what they are, the better. And you can sit back and bash Lamar and all this other stuff. Ain't nothing going to change. It's going to be the same crap every single year, and y'all going to tune in. Just like me. Ain't nothing going to change. Okay? Steve is fine just putting out a product. He don't care about winning a ring. They already got a ring. He don't care. He just wants to make money. And he's going to make money. Yeah, what's his name? Falele, he stinks. Falele's bad. But the Ravens have a guy in Ben Cleveland that they can play that's more physical than Falele. They don't play him. They will not play Ben Cleveland to save their life because Harbaugh has an ego, and it's not going to change. Ravens dropped to 8-5. I should be mad and care, but again, the team never ceases to meet my expectations. I expected them to lose this game. They can't beat physical defenses. Go look at the tape. They can't beat physical defenses. Let me pull up the games. Which defense have you seen this year that the Ravens have played that they've beaten that's been physical? Week 1 against Kansas City, that's a physical defense. That's physical defense. They lost. Week 2 against the Raiders. The Raiders have somewhat of a physical defense, but the Ravens just choked in that one. That's not them losing to a physical defense. That's just them choking. Dallas, that's not a physical defense. Win. Buffalo, they had several defensive players out, and Buffalo will scream that to the cows come home, whatever. Cincinnati is a terrible defense. Commanders is a terrible defense. Bucks have a good defense, but not physical. Cleveland, physical defense. That's an L. Broncos don't have a physical defense. They have a good defense, not a physical defense. Bengals defense stinks. Steelers defense, physical, L. Chargers have a good defense, but not physical. Philadelphia has a physical defense, L. What do you want me to say? They're soft. They're soft. They're soft. They are a soft football team. They're soft. They are soft. They're a pretty team. The Baltimore Ravens are a pretty team. They like to be cute. They like to be pretty. They're not physical. And when they match up against physical teams, they get beat. Philadelphia is a physical team. They beat them. Beat them outright. Like I said, Baltimore's a first-round exit. Let me tell you the teams right now in the playoffs that can beat them. If we look at the playoff race right now, there's really 2 teams that can beat them. Maybe 3. I want to see how, depending on how Buffalo's defense continues to improve, I might put Buffalo on that last one. Kansas City can't beat that team. That's a physical defense. They'll lose to Kansas City in the playoffs. Pittsburgh, that's a physical defense. They'll lose to Pittsburgh in the playoffs if they match up. Buffalo might be 3. Buffalo might be 3. So we'll see about that. But Houston's not a physical defense. They can easily beat them. The Chargers are not a physical defense. That can go either way, but they can win that. The Broncos are not a physical defense. That can go either way. So the Chargers, Texans, and Broncos are the 3 teams Baltimore can beat in the playoffs. But if you expect them to beat Pittsburgh, go home. If you expect them to beat Kansas City, go home. If you expect them to beat Buffalo, depending on how this defense goes for Buffalo, go home. Shout out to Ninder, Allison Johnson with the $5 donation. Sorry to see this, man. You and the rest of the Ravens flock deserve better than this. I mean, I'm not mad about it. It's the same thing every year. Same thing every year. Once you understand what your football team is, you just come to an understanding of what they are and what they're not going to accomplish. Like I said, Lamar's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's not going to get a ring with Harbaugh being the coach. The philosophy has to change. Okay? You've got to be aggressive. We've asked this franchise to be aggressive. You did not address the offensive line in the draft. You decided to come into this. Well, you did not address the offensive line in free agency in the way you were supposed to be. We said this offensive line is not good enough to get you to a Super Bowl because they won't be good enough to protect you against physical defenses. The Ravens responded by saying, we like our guys. You've got a guy in Ben Cleveland that could really be doing something for you in the offensive line as a right guard. You want to keep playing Falalele, even though the dude's soft and can't. And he's soft and he's not fast enough to keep up with these physical defensive ends. But you like your guys, so you stick with them. Having a team like this is way worse than just a bad team. It hurts worse. Yeah, because you feel like you're on a cusp of getting a Super Bowl, but then you always fall short. The Ravens are who we thought they were. Nothing's going to change in the bye week. You think anything's going to change in the bye week? They're going to sit back. They're going to relax. We're going to assess a few things. And then they're going to come back, probably beat the Giants and get smacked by the Steelers again at home. They don't do well against physical teams. Someone needs to point. See, this is why when I hate the dude, I hate listening to this dude because he's an arrogant prick. But when Nick Wright talks about the Ravens versus Pittsburgh and the Kansas City, he has a point. Both of those teams have physical defenses. You can't beat them. You can't beat them. Pittsburgh has a physical defense, and it brings you trouble every single time. Defense is starting to get themselves together just enough to watch the offense sell football games. They need to assess a new kicker next year. They need to assess a lot of new things, but they're not going to. They're going to pat Tucker on the back, say that's our guy, and they're just going to stick with him. And that's just, and at this point, you just got to pray he gets his magical powers back. But like I said, the Ravens are who we thought they were. I don't think anything's changing. Did you know? Of course you love Nick Wright. Of course you love Nick Wright. Of course you do. I expect you to love Nick Wright. Especially, you probably love Nick Wright when he's bashing the Ravens too. Of course you love Nick Wright. But why did they trade for Deontay? Because they're the Ravens. Why? Are you mad? Are you surprised? Do you not know what team you support? This is what they do. They'll trade for a piece and then not utilize them or get them involved. Think about this. They traded for Unique Ngakoue and did not get him involved in the offense. Not the offense, and did not get him involved in the defense. They did not work to his strengths, which is why in Wink Martindale's defense, he was a liability and didn't do anything. They didn't work to his strengths. Yeah, dude, you love Nick Wright about everything. You probably love when he bashes the Ravens, even though he's not correct, okay? There's several things there. I'm not here to discuss it, okay? I'm not here to discuss it. There's aspects of his take that he is correct with, but there's also aspects of his take where he's incorrect with. But we're not here to discuss that. Dude, you like everything negative Ravens. I get it, man. You like everything negative Ravens. That's good for you. Congratulations. Anything that involves bashing the Ravens or Lamar, you're all for it. We got it. Cool. Great. I don't care about any media like that. I don't watch it, which is a good decision. I'm telling you, bro, don't watch the media. Don't watch any of these sports shows. Don't listen to any media. Go about your day. Me, I'm going to enjoy my week. I got work next week, obviously. It's cool. I'm going to enjoy my day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my week. Not going to worry about the Ravens. They're on a bye week, so I get 2 weeks off. I don't have to deal with the Ravens for 2 weeks. Lovely. I'm going to spend this 2 weeks doing whatever I want. You guys figure out what y'all going to do for 2 weeks. But me, I'm cool. Lamar was asked today. Lamar was terrible today. I don't care what the stats say. He missed a bunch of throws he needed to make. You love everything negative Ravens. We get it. You love negative. You are a toxic individual that loves toxicity. We got it, dude. Great. 11-6, dude. I'd probably look at 10-7 at this point. I'm not sure they're going to beat Pittsburgh. They can't beat physical defenses. This offense gets smacked around by physical defense. You think that offensive line is going to hold up against Pittsburgh? Did you watch what just happened to Joe Burrow? Burrow got smoked. Fumbled the ball twice. They're not beating that defense. They're not beating that defense. They're not beating that defense. They're not beating. What was his name? Mr. Intaman. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Nikolai. I was not talking to you. I was talking to Nikolai. He likes toxicity. That's just what he does. Everything negative, Ravens, and opposite, he loves it. That dude loves toxicity, not you. We have a different conversation. Him, he loves toxicity. That's what he does. Anything negative, and he be hitting me up too. Anything negative, this man pops up. He loves toxicity. He is a toxic person. This guy is a villain. Nikolai is a villain. He thrives on toxicity. I'm telling you, if you don't want to deal with them, don't deal with them. But that guy thrives off toxicity. Do not have a conversation with him. He will turn it around on you and piss you off so much you want to argue with them. When you've got a toxic individual that feeds off of this, that's just what they do. That's just what they do. That's just what they do. He is a toxic person that's going to bait you. He's going to throw bait, and if you fall for it, that's on you. But again, there's people like that out there. You choose to be a sport fan however you want to be a sport fan. If you want to be a toxic sports fan, be a toxic sports fan. Some people are like that. That's just how it is. Where do we go from here, man? The bye week. We go into the bye week. That's where we go. You think things are going to change in Baltimore? No, things aren't going to change in Baltimore. No major changes are going to happen. They can keep talking about the culture and all this other stuff and how they want to win a Super Bowl. It's just going to keep being the dream because you're not going to get it done when they need you to get it done most. You'll make the playoffs, but you'll be a first-round exit. The only time you might, the only team I can see Baltimore legitimately beating would be Houston because Houston is just more of a mess than us. If we're Houston's surviving games, they have no reason to win. Houston is just an easy pickings. Houston can go up against Baltimore. Houston can go up against LA. Houston can go up against Denver. Houston can go up against whoever. Easy pickings. Houston is easy pickings. And everybody knows it. That's why you want them. You don't want Buffalo in the first round. You don't want Pittsburgh in the first round. Denver's going to fight to try to get that 5 seed because they know Houston can be exploited. The Chargers want to hold on to that 5 seed as much as possible because they know Houston is exploitable. We're looking at the fraud. We're looking at a team that has no shot to do anything in the playoffs. If Houston beats somebody, they probably beat Baltimore. If Houston wins a playoff game, it would only be against Baltimore because they're not beating the Chargers and they're not beating the Broncos. And that's because the Ravens will probably beat themselves in another playoff game. It is what it is. The only team Houston can beat in the postseason is Baltimore. And the only team I think Baltimore can beat right now in the postseason would be Houston. Maybe they beat the Chargers, maybe they beat the Broncos, but they're not going to face off against either one of those. It's either Houston or you're taking on Buffalo or Pittsburgh. Take your choice. Take your choice. They beat Cleveland last year. They did. They absolutely did beat Cleveland last year with Joe Flacco. And they were riding with a Joe Flacco team that was riding off of vibes. I'm a Steelers fan, but Ravens going to win the next matchup in Baltimore. Good luck with that. Darren, good luck with that. This offensive line can't handle physicality. I was watching what you guys did to Joe Burrow today. This offensive line can't handle physicality. They can't. They're going to smack Lamar around. They're going to cause him to force the football somewhere he don't want it to. Turnovers are going to happen. They cannot face off against this offense. Like, the offensive line is soft. They're soft and they stink, okay? I'm sorry, but Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum cannot, and in some cases, Roger Rosengard, they cannot make up for the incompetence that you're seeing with Falele and Makari. They can't. They can't. Because they're gonna come in, they're gonna crowd inside, they're gonna break through and just gonna get to Lamar. And he's gonna be running for his life like he did today. Rosengarten's solid, he's a rookie, he's doing his thing. Linderbaum's been great. Stanley's been great. But everybody else in the offensive line is just selling for the most part. I'm a Steelers fan and know they won't beat us. For some odd reason, Lamar just stopped being Lamar against Pittsburgh. It's not about Lamar just stopped being Lamar. It's about the fact that this team cannot play against physical guys. Every time Lamar faces off against Pittsburgh, he spends 60 minutes running for his life. He spends 60 minutes running for his life. I told people the key. Philly just did it. Did you just see it? Did you just see it? Did you see what Philly just did? Did you see what they did today? I've told people this. You want to beat the Ravens? You want to get to Lamar? You don't beat the Ravens' offensive line. You break through it. I promise you. Once you break through it, you get in Lamar's head. And once you get in Lamar's head, he starts missing throws he shouldn't miss. Did you see what happened in this game? When they started breaking through the offensive line and getting to Lamar, he started missing throws he had no reason missing. Why was he missing those throws? Because they broke through the offensive line. That is the key to beating the Ravens. It starts with the offensive line. You don't beat the offensive line. You break through the Ravens' offensive line. Once Lamar has to see multiple players, it's over at that point. It's over at that point. Because now he's trying to make a play left and right. Because now Lamar's like, well, I got to go make a play here. And he's just not going to be able to make 5 plays at once. And Lamar doesn't run anymore. If you go see that 4th down play, Lamar had a lane to go pick up a 1st down. He wanted to force it to Zay Flowers. He don't want to run no more. Y'all done said everything about him. Now he's putting up these top-tier stats as a passer. And he says, you know what, let me just keep this up and not run. The bye week will be spent at Winnie Juniors. I'm going to let you have that one because I don't see anything wrong with that. This team's soft. Even when teams break into the O-line, Lamar panics a lot. No, it's not. It's not. Well, you're right about breaks through. When they break through, he definitely panics, which makes sense because I don't think any quarterback wants to have multiple defenders in their face. Any quarterback's going to have problems with that. I've seen Mahomes in the Super Bowl run for his life because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers broke through their offensive line and he couldn't do anything. Wide open lanes, Lamar looking to pass. The difference with Lamar and where we get on his case is because we know Lamar has the capability of taking off. So when these guys are breaking through, he can just roll to his left or the right and take off. Why abandon what you do best? Why in every big game he abandons the run? Well, they didn't abandon running the football with Derrick Henry today. They did not abandon that. It's more so Lamar just refusing to take off in some of these situations. And I'm not saying him taking off would have automatically resulted in them picking the 1st downs and would have scored points. I'm not saying that. But it potentially could have moved the chains. And if you look at a game like this against Philadelphia, the opportunities were there. And if Lamar utilizes his legs, maybe you get something. It's hard for me to say they didn't give. Let me look at this. I really want to see how many times they gave Derrick Henry the ball. What is this? What the hell is this? No, I didn't ask for the... What the hell? Oh, okay. I pressed the wrong thing. There we go. Derrick Henry in this game. Derrick Henry had 19 carries. It's not the worst in the world. It's not the worst in the world. Both of our guards are trash. Yeah, they stink. We need to build up our offensive line for sure. Not going to do it. Do you think Tucker should leave the Ravens? What are your thoughts on him? The Ravens are going to have conversations with Tucker during the bye week. And obviously he's going to be here. He got 19 carries. Derrick Henry got 19 carries. And obviously he's going to be here for the rest of the season. But if you don't see any improvements, then a real conversation needs to be had in the offseason about Justin Tucker. Yeah, but that's just it. Todd Monken did his best AFC Championship game performance on that third to last drive, not giving Henry the ball once. Todd Monken loves to get pass happy. I can't do nothing about that. Ravens front office draft and trade for players and never even give them a chance to see if they can contribute. Hence, Keaton Mitchell, Deontay Johnson sickening. And you're surprised? Ravens are chokers? You can't be chokers if we expected this from you. Did anyone expect anything differently? See, you calling them a choker because you had expectations for them. That's where you messed up. You shouldn't have expectations about this team. They find a way to just mess you up every single time. You chose to have expectations on this team. Didn't do nothing for you. Didn't do a whole bunch of nothing for you. You had expectations for this team, and it did a whole bunch of nothing. I don't know what's up with Tucker. He was supposed to be the best kicker in the league. He was. He's not anymore. How was the defense? Dude, the defense played well. This is where we always look at the Ravens and say they can't play consistent. They can't play consistent on both sides of the ball for 4 quarters. Let me tell you what this Ravens defense did today. They gave up 24 points, which, again, is not the worst. You're going up against Philadelphia. Giving up 24 points is not bad. But guess what? They gave up 24 points, and they gave up 252 total yards. I want to repeat this. The Ravens defense gave up 252 total yards. The defense gave up 252 total yards, and you couldn't win that game. The defense in the last 3 games has played tremendously better. Since they've benched Marcus Williams and switched to 2-eye safety, they've been a much better defensive team. And during that time, Baltimore has decided to become a worse offensive team than they were in the previous 11-plus games. Hope you're right about Lamar saving his legs for the play. He could save them. Don't mean they're going to win. He could run so much more than he does, and if he did, we would have won more games. Tucker should be cut now. They're not cutting him, but we're going to have to wait. Seeing Tucker like this hurts. This is arguably the 3rd game we've lost because of Tuck. It hurts. It really does. You're wrong, bro. On the contrary, I'm talking about the talent they have. I'm not surprised, honestly. In terms of the talent, you're calling them chokers in terms of the talent? I guess. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have any expectations for this team even when they did sign Derrick Henry. I didn't say, oh, we're going to Super Bowl now. I'm just like, I don't have any expectations. John Harbaugh's still here, so I know it's going to be much of the same nonsense. And once Mike McDonald walked out the door, I thought our chances to have that dominating defense that can cover up for the mistakes the offense does, I thought that was out the window after that. The second I watched Mike McDonald go to the Seahawks, I knew this defense would never be the same. Ravens 2020 season, this feels similar to the 2020 Ravens, which is why they'll probably lose in the division round to Buffalo again. And then the Bills will run their mouth and laugh at us and talk trash and be like, Lamar in the playoffs. And we'll just have to deal with it. And again, I don't care. I'm at this point in my life where I don't really care. Like, y'all are free to defend these quarterbacks and these athletes. I don't care. I don't know these people. These are not people that affect my life in any way. I just watch and support the teams. If you want to call Lamar a choker, that's fine. I support the team. That's my quarterback. I support these guys. He's my favorite player. That's great. But these guys don't affect my life. They don't affect my life. If you want to call him a choker, cool. He's a choker at a professional football game. He's a choker at a children's game that he gets paid millions of dollars to play. That's his legacy. I don't care. What does that got to do with me? Some of y'all are going way too hard to defend some of these players that y'all are willing to go after people, curse them out, wish harm on them and their family over a guy that you don't even know. That's crazy behavior, if I do say so myself. This is why people look at this is why non-sports fans look at sports fans and think we're crazy. Because you're going to bat and literally wishing death. Some people do this. They'll wish death and bodily harm on another individual just because somebody says something bad about their quarterback. That's psychotic behavior. I'm not interested in that. I commentate over sports. I talk about sports. I enjoy the sports. I have my athletes that I love. But I'm not about to sit back and wish harm on somebody or go to bat for this player and defend them with my life. For what? For what? Same thing happens with rappers. Dude, we're seeing it right now with the whole situation with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. We're seeing it right now. Every time. Hell, Kendrick dropped his album, and you still got Drake's fans doing everything they can to crap on it, say it's garbage, yada, yada, yada. And then when people actually give an honest opinion, say, I don't think this... You got the Drake's fans that's doing everything to crap on this album and act like it's trash when it's not. And then you got people that are just giving a fair opinion that's saying, I don't think this is the strongest album from Kendrick. Some of the songs I didn't really care for. All of a sudden, you got all these Kendrick fans ready to chop someone's head off because you said this song... You use anytime... Right now, because this is Kendrick's year, if you say anything about Kendrick negatively, the Kendrick fans will come after you. Apparently, Kendrick's a god right now. He's a prophet. You say anything about his music or anything about him, problems. Meanwhile, Drake fans, you can't say anything positive about Kendrick without them finding a way to just crap on it or just give credit to Drake. Literally, Not Like Us continues to rise, and you're just like, oh, Drake, look at Drake feeding all these other rappers, man. They love to hate on all this other stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying people are willing to go to bat and wish the worst on a human being because of somebody they don't know. Just because they like what they do. They rock with their music. They like their acting. They appreciate what they do on the court. They appreciate what they do on the field. It's insane, but this is what we do as humans. So it is what it is. But yeah, y'all get so pressed about a sport where men tackling each other. It is what it is. Random question, how was your Thanksgiving? My Thanksgiving was great. Spent some time with the family. Actually, I had 2 Thanksgiving. I had Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day. Went to my cousin's house. There was some family members there, so we had great a time. And then I had Thanksgiving yesterday because a bunch of my cousins, we all came together. One of my cousins, he has a new crib, so he wanted to host a Thanksgiving dinner there. So I went there on Saturday, and yeah, I had 2 Thanksgivings, so I'm good. What I'm gonna be doing after this stream cuts out, I got leftovers that I gotta finish from yesterday. I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna chill out. I got some shows to watch. I got some animes to watch. We've got a bye week, so I can spend the next 2 weeks chilling. I'm actually going to have a live stream at some point this week. We probably should do a Q&A. I'm going to let you guys come in. Maybe we'll do a couple Q&As because I want to let you guys come in and ask all the possible questions you want to ask about this Ravens team over the bye week. I don't really have any ideas planned because this isn't previous years where I can sit back and talk about this team. We know what they are. We know what they are. It's the same story under John Harbaugh, and nothing's going to change. So why would I sit here and say anything else? Why should I make a video? Though, I mean, I'll still have to make a recap video of this, obviously, so be on the lookout for that. But why would I make a video like, the Ravens offense is starting to disappear? What the Ravens can do to get back on track? John Harbaugh needs a reality check. I'm not doing that anymore. We've said this for years. If things were different, fine, but it's the same thing. I'm not repeating myself. I'm not here to repeat myself. I've done videos on John Harbaugh. I've done videos on the Ravens offense. I've done videos on the Ravens defense. Is the recap today or tomorrow? It's going to have to be tomorrow. I'm going to eat and rest and chill out. That's what I'm going to do. Fly, Eagles, fly. Hey, congratulations, man. You guys had a lot of problems last year that you fixed this year. Best of luck. I think it's going to be you guys in Detroit in the NFC title game. Best of luck in Detroit. Or maybe Detroit messes up and you guys get the #1 seed. However it goes. But best of luck to Philadelphia. Lamar would have 2 rings. I don't want to do the Lamar if. I don't want to do ifs. We live in the world of reality. We live in the world of reality. And the reality is he ain't been to a Super Bowl. That's the reality. He ain't been to a Super Bowl. This team ain't been to a Super Bowl. That's the reality. My opinion, they're not getting to one as long as John Harbaugh's here. So that's just how it is. Just take it as you leave it. Horrible loss. I would say expected loss. This was one of my 5 expected losses. Baltimore does these things a few times a season where they just lose games like this because they just don't show up at all. Either the defense shows up and the offense doesn't, or the offense shows up and the defense doesn't. The fact that this team is so divided that they can't consistently play well on both ends of the ball is crazy. The defense was selling for much of the season. The offense had to kick it into overdrive mode. Now all of a sudden the defense is finally getting it together just in time for the offense to not do anything. Piss off. I'm not wasting my time arguing for this team, going to bat for this team, ranting and raging about this team. Not wasting my time with it. There's no point. There's really no point. Taking the Lions to win a Super Bowl, I hope Detroit wins the Super Bowl. They deserve it. I hope that Detroit wins the Super Bowl because it's gonna be Kansas City and Detroit. It's going to be Kansas City and Detroit most likely. It's either going to be Kansas City and Detroit or Kansas City and Philadelphia. In the Super Bowl, if it's Kansas City and Philadelphia again, people are going to be pissed. No one wants to see that. But Kansas City and Detroit, I'll take Kansas City and Detroit. There's no point. You're right. There is no point in arguing the same points over and over again. If change was going to happen, I'd be like, cool. But there's no point. It's the same thing with my team, with Maryland. We've had the same coach in Maryland for 6 years. He's terrible. He stinks. Everybody wants him gone. The program has not done anything positive in 6 years. You can't even scout guys to want to come join your program. This coach stinks. And once again, yet another year of Maryland football being terrible. Obviously, no one even wants to come to the home games. It's just the same thing with Maryland every year. This coach has been here since, my freshman year of college. He's... I don't want to get on him. This has nothing to do with college football. This has nothing to do with Maryland. But that's what I'm talking about. He's been here for 6 years. He's done absolutely nothing. So I don't expect anything from Maryland. He's been awful. Just like with the Ravens. I don't expect anything. Do I expect them to make the playoffs? Yes. Do I expect them to go far in the playoffs? No. This is not a Super Bowl contending team. There's no consistency. You don't even have to be dominant. It's not even about being dominant. It's about being consistent. I've always said this. The Chiefs are not dominant, but they're consistent. That's why they're a Super Bowl contending team. That's why come playoff time, they will play the same way no matter what and go the distance because they're consistent. The playoffs is about consistency. You can't be high one game and low the next game. That's how you get sent home early. important aspect, the number one aspect of playoff football that needs to be emphasized is consistency. Because we always talk about teams playing high in the regular season and then not showing up in the playoffs. Baltimore is one of those teams. Why? Because they're a high-low, 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 high-low team. You can't do that. Hold that out. That's great, dude. I don't care. Congrats on the W. Best of luck. You're probably going to win the division in the NFC East. Best of luck catching Detroit. It's either going to be Detroit and Philly in Philadelphia or Detroit and Philly in Detroit for the NFC title game. Congratulations again, but you got the wrong guy. You can do the hold that out. You got the wrong guy. I don't care. I predicted the Ravens to lose this game. You got the wrong dude. So, yeah, you can take that out with you. Go find another Ravens fan that's crying on Twitter. I'm sure they'll be pissed about it. I expected us to lose, so I'm not really mad. I'm about to go eat these leftovers, so, yeah. But I'm no Commander. Listen, I would love the Commanders in the NFC title game, but I don't know about that. But I've always expressed this. I've been saying it for years. Please go back to some of my old videos. Consistency is the number one important thing about a team heading into the playoffs. The most important thing about the postseason is consistency. That's why people talk about performances in the regular versus the postseason. When you're consistent in the regular season but not consistent in the postseason, people talk about that. You have to be consistent as a football team. That's why previous teams, when they've had great records and entered the playoffs, no one could trust them because they're not consistent. The 2020 Pittsburgh Steelers were an inconsistent football team, and everybody knew come playoff time they would lose. What happens? First round exit. When you're inconsistent as a football team, you can't win come January because you won't be able to stack 4 straight wins. You won't. You need to be consistent. You don't have to be dominant. This is what people need to understand. Not all dominant teams get to the Super Bowl. It's not about being dominant. It's about being consistent. And that's what Kansas City does. Kansas City plays consistent football every single time. Through and through. Every single week, every single game, they play consistent. Good or bad, they do not change. They play consistent football. They play consistent football. If you cannot be consistent as a football team, don't bother showing up for the playoffs because you're not going the distance. Kansas City's most likely going to three-peat because they can be consistent. Now, Buffalo is showcasing right now that they can be somewhat consistent. If they screw around and mess up at the end of the year, don't expect them to do anything against Kansas City in the playoffs. Houston, not doing anything. Denver, too early. Chargers, can't be trusted. Baltimore, inconsistent. Pittsburgh, maybe, but I don't think they have the offense to compete on a consistent basis. I have to see how Pittsburgh finishes the season. But if Pittsburgh plays this way consistently, then yes, Pittsburgh has a chance to beat Kansas City and potentially go the distance. But it's all about consistency. That's what needs to be emphasized. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. 27 Eagles stop the cheating dynasty. 2024 Eagles will bring in into yet another cheating dynasty in the Chiefs. They cheat. They don't play consistently. They almost lose to bad teams. That's great, bro. Good luck with that statement. Consistency is the most important aspect. Your team was 10-1 at some point last season. Guess what? They went one and done at home. They didn't go at home. They went one and done in the playoffs and got embarrassed by the Bucks last year. Why? Because despite being 10-1, they were an inconsistent football team. What's different between the Philadelphia Eagles last year compared to this year? I'll tell you what the difference is. You guys are a consistent football team. Consistency is important. You are a consistent team. Since coming out of the bye week, you're on this winning streak, and you've been consistent no matter how things works. You're a consistent football team this season. Like I just said, yeah, last season, new team. Yeah, a new team that's consistent. You weren't consistent last year. That's why you went home. The 2024 Philadelphia Eagles are a consistent football team, especially defensively. They were not consistent defensively last year, so you lost games you shouldn't. This year, the defense is consistent, which is why I have you going far. Are you not listening, dude? Am I speaking Spanish here? The 2023 Philadelphia Eagles were an inconsistent football team. The 2024 Philadelphia Eagles are a consistent football team. That's why last year they were a first-round exit. This year Philly will go the distance because they're a consistent football team. The playoffs is about consistency. That's why these teams go the distance. Consistency matters. It's not about dominance. It's about consistency. Am I speaking Spanish here? If you're not a consistent football team, can you go the distance? Can you be trusted to win 4 straight games in the playoffs if you can't show consistency in the regular season? Am I wrong on that statement? We can bring the tape. You've got to show consistency. There's rare moments where we've seen runs from teams that are not consistent that just get hot. The 2012 Ravens, the 2007 and 2011 Giants are examples of this. Those weren't consistent teams, but they got hot at the right time and just got it going. But they weren't consistent. However, there's so rarity in these moments where you see it in the postseason. Postseason is about consistency. You have to be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you cannot consistently find ways to win matchups in January. If my Steelers beat or just hang with the Chiefs on Christmas, I have faith we can beat them in the playoffs. If they can be consistent and play the way they played today on both sides of the field and continue to win the way they are winning, you could be fine. A game like Cleveland looks bad. The Eagles own you. That's great, man. I don't care. You got the wrong channel. You got the wrong guy. You're not going to get somebody that's going to get mad at that. I expected the Eagles to beat us. I already gave them their congratulations. I said the Eagles are going to go to the NFC title game. I don't care about the loss. I'm not tripping over it. You got the wrong guy. So go to another Ravens channel that's crying, or go to social media and Twitter on some Ravens fan that's talking trash and tell them the Eagles own y'all. You got the wrong guy. I don't care. Steelers have always been consistent, and Russ, the veteran play, they definitely can beat them. I want to see how Pittsburgh matches up with Kansas City. I think that's going to be a really interesting matchup. I really want to see how that's going to go. Can the Ravens please cut Deontay Johnson so we can pick him up? Go talk to DaCosta and see how that's going to go. Why would you want him back? Steelers fans do not want him back, so I'm surprised. The first time they beat Lamar. It is what it is. It's about dominance as well. Defense wins championships. Sitting here, consistency is more important than dominance, because that dominance can go away. The 2023 Ravens were a dominant football team. But what happened in the NFC title game? They lost. Consistency is more, and in times, if you looked at the 2023 Ravens team, they were inconsistent at times. They showed some level of consistency down the stretch, but there were also levels of inconsistency. Dominance matters. I'm not saying that an inconsistent team can't have a great defense. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying being consistent. That can also mean being consistently great. Is this dude not understanding? Do I got to speak a different language? Is this not coming through? Being consistent can also mean you're consistently playing at a high level defensively. So you are a great, dominant team. Consistency is key in the playoffs. What is this guy not understanding? I'm not the first one to make this type of take. You have players that have played this game that says you got to be consistent in the postseason. Why do you think you've got some of these Hall of Famers getting on Lamar's case saying he's got to be consistent in the playoffs? The way you play in the regular season is the way you got to play in the playoffs. Consistency is important. What are you not understanding? Oh my goodness. I cannot understand how some of y'all cannot get some of the basic concepts here. Do I have to speak in a different language for some of y'all to understand? Consistency. I didn't think I would have to explain 17 times that consistency is important in the postseason. What? Dominance and consistency are two different things, because the Chiefs are not a dominant team, but because they play the same way consistently, they find ways to win games. You don't have to be the most dominant team. The 2018 New England Patriots were not a dominant football team, but they played with a level of consistency that helped them get to where they needed to get to. I'm done wasting my time with this, bro. Consistency is the aspect that matters the most. I'm not saying you can't be dominant and consistent, but consistency is the main aspect. Just like Lamar consistently loses to the Chiefs. Yes, he consistently loses to the Chiefs. That's why no one will pick the Ravens to beat the Chiefs, because he consistently loses to the Chiefs at a high level, aka a dumb. Like I said, bro, are we not understanding each other? Are you not getting what I'm saying? Or are we just saying the same thing twice? I said consistency and dominance can go one and the same, but consistency is the aspect that matters. You don't have to be dominant to be consistent, but you can be dominant and consistent. The 2007 the 2007 New York Giants weren't a dominant team, but come playoff time, they ended up playing at I guess I'm speaking a different language. Do I have to start pulling up former Super Bowl runs to show what I mean? Do you think every team that's won the Super Bowl has been a dominant football team? Do you think every single Super Bowl has been a dominant team? It's not even the case. Hell, Aaron Rodgers' one ring was not a team that was dominant. That was not. The 2010 Packers were not seen as a dominant team. The 2011 Packers were a dominant team, and they got upset by the Giants. Justin Tucker needs to step up because we have games we should have won. It is what it is. But yeah, just like Lamar consistently loses to the Chiefs. Yeah, he consistently loses to the Chiefs, just like the Ravens consistently lose to the Chiefs and the Steelers, which is why I would not pick them to beat either one of them in the playoffs. I don't see anything wrong with your statement. Again, I get you're trying to rile up a Ravens fan and stuff, but buddy, I really implore you, go to another site that's going to engage with you and give you the level of anger and salt you're getting. Because I don't have any anger. I expect this from my team. There's literally nothing here to get. I know you're trying to do the whole rile up thing and trash talk thing. I implore you, go find the Ravens fan that's crying on Twitter that can give you the attention. Because at that point, they can give you a back and forth. They'll probably talk about your Dallas Cowboys or something. I'm not interested in that. Sorry. Chiefs are doing just enough to win. May not be a flashy, dominant win, but just enough. That's consistency. That's the aspect I'm pointing out. Xbox or PS5? I'd probably go with, I don't have it. I have an Xbox 360 out there. I never got an Xbox One or nothing like that. But I got a PS5 in here and I got a PS4 here. You're doing it. You're getting angry. I'm not angry. Anyone that's been on my channel knows. They know when I'm angry versus I'm not angry. I'm not angry. You're making assumptions, but I'm not angry. Just because I'm getting loud and passionate about it does not mean I'm angry. People that have been on my channel for years knows when I'm angry. But you're probably new, so I can't really blame you. But I'm not angry. There's nothing to be angry for because I'm not surprised they lost this game. I expected them to lose to Philadelphia. You can even ask my fans that were here. When we talked about it, I said they'd probably lose to Philadelphia. I said one of our 5 losses this year, coming into the season, I said there was probably a chance they were going to lose to the Eagles. They were one of the 5 losses I expected the Ravens to lose to. I said they'd lose to the Chiefs. I said they'd lose to Pittsburgh. I said they would lose to Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I said they would lose to Cleveland in Cleveland. So it was Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, which surprisingly, that was a surprise to me. I thought we would lose in Cincinnati. But I said Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and potentially Philadelphia. It was either going to be Philly or the Bills, but I'm not surprised they lost to the Eagles, so I have no reason to get angry. Who do the Ravens play next? The Ravens, after the bye, they play the Giants. Anyway, Bill's going to dominate the Niners. I think, what's his name? Brock Purdy's playing, but they're missing so many guys that what's it called? The Bills should be able to win. What's going on, Corey? The Bills should be able to win. I think the Bills should be able to win. What are they now? 9-2. They're gonna go to 10-2. Easy win for the Ravens. My uncle is a Giants fan. No, that's probably a trap game. So just prepare for the Ravens to be frustrating coming out of a bye week. But who knows? Maybe they get it. Bad week for Ohio. Yeah, we watched that. We watched that at work. Yeah, they lost, and it was funny. Ohio State lost. I have a coworker that was at Ohio State. He's like, that's his school, so that's who he supports, and he was pissed off at that loss. But that's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. Pretty much gonna head on out. Ravens take the loss. They're 8-5 now, so they're gonna head into the bye week at 8-5. Not much is really gonna change. I still think the Ravens are gonna make the playoffs, but they're a first-round exit. Why did everyone overrate the Bengals this season? Because they're the Bengals. You got a healthy Joe Burrow. You got a healthy Jamar Chase. They assumed with Burrow and Chase healthy, they were going to go on a run. I think people underestimated how poor this defense, was. I think they underestimated how much this defense has been gutted. Because if you look at the 2021 defense compared to what they are now, it's night and day. So I think people underestimated, I think the Bengals underestimated how much they've lost defensively and how poor this defense is going to be this year. So because the defense has been awful, it's cost them a lot of games. I wonder if Lamar's frustrated. He should be frustrated himself. He could be frustrated at the offensive line. That's fair. He could be frustrated at the play call. And that's fair. But he should also be frustrated himself because he missed some easy throws. And if he completes some of those passes, maybe you're not in the situation you're at. He can also be frustrated with Tucker because Tucker missed multiple field goals. Tucker missing field goals is the most consistent thing this year and costing them multiple games. I've said this. Go back and look at the Ravens' record when Justin Tucker misses multiple field goals. It's not pretty. Regular and postseason. If Justin Tucker has missed multiple field goals, I guarantee you we didn't win that game. We don't win games where Justin Tucker misses multiple field goals. It's just how it works for the Ravens. Also, I've said this about the Ravens every single time. When the Ravens start off well and get punched in the mouth or make a mistake, they crumple up. The Ravens were up 9-0. Lamar misses likely, and then the ball gets fumbled, and that ends the drive. From that point forward, the Ravens' offense was not the same. And you saw it for the rest of the game. That's just how the Ravens are, man. They get punched in the mouth, or they make a mistake early on, and they just crumple up, and they just can't get back in order. It's ridiculous, and it's sad that this continues to happen under John Harbaugh, but it is what it is. I'm happy my Steelers won because Ohio State and Lakers did nothing but disgust me. Yeah, congrats on the win. Steelers most likely going to end up winning this division with the Ravens now having a 2-game deficit to overcome. And at this point, you just have to win out, including beating Pittsburgh, and hope Pittsburgh's going to lose a few games. I think the Steelers are going to win the division at this point. Baltimore needed to win this game today to try to keep up, but they lost, so I think Pittsburgh's going to win it. Baltimore's most likely going to be the wild card, so they better fight for the 5th spot so they could try to go match up with Houston in the first round. But if that happens, that means they're going to Kansas City for the 2nd round, which means they'll get beat. Meanwhile, if that happens, Pittsburgh will probably win their first round matchup, and that means they're going to go to Buffalo for the 2nd round, which means Buffalo is going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, which means my prediction for the Chiefs and the Bills in the AFC title game will come to fruition. Oh, well. But yeah, guys, I'm going to head on out of here. I got some leftovers to eat. I somehow got 2 hours out of this. That's crazy. I got 2 hours out of this. So yeah, I'm going to head on out. Yeah, Ravens take the L. I'll probably speak on this. I don't know. Steelers got the Eagles and Chiefs and Ravens still. So the Ravens still have a chance. Their last remaining games are more winnable. Yeah, but again, with the Ravens playing as inconsistent as they do, I would not be surprised if they blow out the Giants and then lose another frustrating game to the Steelers. So anything can happen, but the Ravens are so inconsistent as a football team, I would not bet on them to win the division at this point. Then again, who knows? Maybe the Steelers just lose the rest of these games. I don't know. Do we need a rebuild season? You're not going to have a rebuild season with an MVP quarterback. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to have a rebuild season with an MVP quarterback. That's just not going to happen. So we're not getting a rebuild season. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let y'all take care. I'm going to let y'all enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night. Didn't Steelers win like 5 straight in Baltimore? Yeah, they'll probably win another one. We have not beaten them in Baltimore in so long. I don't remember the last time we beat them in Baltimore. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your night, even though I know some Ravens fans are pissed. I actually want to see how Twitter's going. Because, I mean, I already know Lamar is going to be trending. They're going to get him on the classic stuff. Let me see. I'm not going to be on Twitter. I don't care about that. Justin Tucker's trending. Ravens are trending. Lamar is trending. John Harbaugh's trending. Jesus Christ. John Harbaugh. Wow. Huh. Yeah, well. Yeah, everybody's trending. That's crazy. Everybody's trending. Yeah, people are saying Tucker lost his powers ever since he messed with the Chiefs in the AFC title game. Oh my God, that's nasty. Enjoy the leftovers, bro. I enjoyed the live. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'll be back at some point. We probably have to do the recap tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do the recap tomorrow, and we'll be on the aspect towards what's it called? We'll be on the aspect towards doing some Q&As. Half-ass teams get half-ass results. We are exactly where we are, slightly above average. Yeah, they're paper tigers. Like I said last week after... Well, not last week. I said it 2 weeks ago after the Steelers lost. They're paper tigers. The Ravens are paper tigers. It is what it is. That's what they are. Don't need to get mad at it. Don't need to cry about it. They're paper tigers. So be it. But yeah, I'll probably start some Q&As this week. We'll have some discussions, obviously. I know people want to talk about the Ravens because of how this is, and that's just an aspect we're going to have to discuss. But, you know, that's just how it is. I know people want to get mad, but, you know, it's tough for me to... it's tough for me to sit here and get mad, and I think it's tough for a lot of people to sit here and get mad. Like, what else can you be mad about? I know guys want people to get mad, but it's like, once you come to an understanding of what your team is, it's so difficult to sit here and just be, like, mad. Like, what am I going to be mad at? What am I actually going to be mad at? What should I be mad at? Like, there's it is what it is. I know some of y'all are mad. I just implore you, go do something else. Enjoy the rest of your night. Don't let the Ravens ruin your mood. I'll be enjoying the rest of my night, so I hope you guys do the same too. With that being said, guys, we are going to end the stream here. We took 2 hours here, and obviously Sunday Night Football is playing. I'm not watching that. I'm just going to give the Bills the win, congratulate them on going 10-2, and further push my agendas. And further push probably Josh Allen for MVP to finally get it now. Because, again, Lamar putting up the stats don't matter. If you're sitting here at 8-5. You can't give the MVP to a guy that's 8-5 at this point. I don't care what stats Lamar has. He'll be first-team All-Pro, but if Josh Allen continues to play the way he's playing and they dominate the Niners, with or without these guys being healthy, Josh Allen, if he keeps this pace up and they get a top 2 seed, Josh Allen deserves the MVP. I'm just saying, it's not always about stats. Lamar has great stats today, but everybody that watched the game knows Lamar missed throws and did not play good. So I don't care about statistics. He'll be first-team All-Pro. He'll have the best statistical season of his career. That's great, but no. I think at this point, you're looking at it now. Unless Josh just falls on his face, there should be no reason Josh doesn't win. You can look at the stats all you want. Stats aren't the end-all, be-all. It's about moments and key situations. This was a moment where you could have made an MVP statement. You didn't make an MVP statement. Josh Allen tonight against the Niners, he dominates, he wins, he takes full control of the MVP. The only way Saquon gets it is if Saquon breaks the single-season rushing record, which I don't know if he's going to do. But we'll see. But yeah, at this point, Josh Allen's first for MVP. Feel however you want to feel about it. That's just fair. I've always been fair about it because I understand how the MVP is assessed. Bills fans don't understand it, but I do. Anyway, guys, take care. Be sure to stay safe, and peace out.